Hey, a lot to get done today. Middle of the week program here. Wednesday get together on Gwynn and Chris Crisello, Tony Gwynn Jr., and Matt Scraby. I'm hanging out in Phoenix today. We'll be a little bit in and out of the program as we got a women's game tonight at Grand Canyon. Men's Aztec basketball prevailed over Wyoming. Last night, 72-63 to keep abreast of the lead in the Mountain West. I didn't think it was one of their all-time great games. We'll talk about that with Mark Ziegler here in a little bit. But a lot going on, guys. NBA trade deadline, huge blockbuster today. Talk about that. And I think a little later on, we're going to get into the demise of the Washington Post sports page and what that all means. But right now, Tony Gwynn Jr., lots going on with the Padres and the ownership situation. And I think according to things I've read from Dennis Lin and Kevin Acee, these are the kinds of things that I think Padre fans wanted to hear, right? I mean, it sounds like the path is kind of clear for the Padres to be sold. And by the way, hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. I think this was this had to happen in order for the Padres to sell. So, I mean,
right.
It was inevitable once a sale became imminent that this would have to be Major League Baseball certainly wouldn't have gone forward unless that lawsuit thing was kind of buttoned up and kind of put away. And it sounds like this clears the path for, you know, what sounds like is a multi, whether it's persons or teams of people that are interested in buying.
There's 3 entities that have been identified.
3 entities that have been identified and 4 that are in on it.
I only know of the 3 that have been identified,
okay.
But Joe Lacob is one of them. And Kevin Acee reported that he was in San Diego last week. And then there's also 2 guys that they own Premier League teams. So they're not one of them actually was born in San Diego, Friedkin, but I don't know much information about them right now.
I know Friedkin. You're not going to believe this because I don't believe this. I know Friedkin personally.
What?
He doesn't know that I know. He doesn't know that I know him
I was
personally.
like, huh?
Because this is, I got to say, 20 years ago, maybe more. He came into studio, being from San Diego, with a couple of other, movers and shakers. And I honestly don't even remember the subject they were talking about. But Mr. Friedkin brought with him a Everton jersey and gave it to me because he's the owner of the Everton team. And that was like my first exposure to even Premier League. Like, okay. So I've always kind of rooted for Everton because I used to have a jersey.
Sorry, Dan Friedkin.
But anyway.
And Jose Feliciano is the other person involved.
Right. Feliciano's the other name. So, look, look, we need this to happen. I think we all want this to happen. I don't really know what more we can address, guys, on the lawsuit from Sheil Seidler being dropped, other than to say I feel like she was able to make the points she wanted to make. She felt like she got, some dirty laundry was aired, potentially, whether how accurate everything was, it probably depends on your point of view. But I think ultimately it was shown to her that there wasn't going to be enough evidence to win any kind of lawsuit. So she dropped, the charges. And so that's where we are. At least that's how I understand it. I missed law school class when I was at San Diego State. So I could be leaving a little something out, but I'm doing the best I can to kind of recapture it for everybody out there.
Yeah, that's
let me make it, I guess.
You're going to jump in here, counselor?
I was going to say accurate, but that's the wrong word to use because it is confusing. But she dropped most of everything,
right.
But she kept 2 claims in there. The 2 main claims, which is the trustees have failed to allocate the trust and that she has not received all the income she is due. That is what she is still is having, in process.
Okay. And with all due respect to Sheil, none of us ever feel like we've gotten the income we're due. So welcome to the club, I say, on that one. But anyway, I think this is a good day. I'm not going to say a banner day necessarily. We still got a lot to get done. But, Tony, don't we all agree that, I think we all agree that what Peter Seidler did for this organization is never going to be forgotten. I think it's going to be 99% of the people appreciated. Maybe there's always a few holdouts here and there, but, helping restore this organization to, some prominence here for the better part of a decade. But now that, he's passed and this whole thing has kind of transpired the way it has, we want this team to be sold. We want it obviously to somebody who's going to, commit to San Diego. But until that happens, we can't really move forward with probably putting the full team on the field that we would like to.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think, this seems like it's headed in a direction where it'll be a little bit cleaner than it was looking like there for a second in terms of the lawsuit. And so the thing is, regardless of who it is, you ultimately you still have to hope that it's somebody as passionate as Peter was.
Yeah.
That takes over the team, because ultimately, no matter whether we know names or don't know names, we don't ultimately know how they're going to move once they have the team. And so I think, it's this scenario is certainly better than what it was before today, at least publicly, what was known. But nonetheless, this is I guess a foregone conclusion in terms of how it had to end, right? I mean, someone had to, it goes up on sale. Someone's going to have to buy it. We're still waiting to see who that's going to be. I'm still very interested to see what the end number is that this team ends up selling for.
This is going to be a case study apparently for baseball teams, because the valuation's going into a year where they're not sure of the future and how long they may be stopped playing. And so everybody's watching this sale to see what happens.
I mean, this is very likely. I mean, the Tampa sale could come down here pretty quickly as well, but this or that sale will be the last one or two sales before the possible change in which baseball is about to go through. So I think everybody should feel some excitement that, it seems like the uncertainty cloud is kind of starting to move away.
I think excitement is one emotion for sure, Tony. I think the other one is, being just a little bit hesitant a little bit concerned.
It's a little bit of both.
Right? Because the fear of the great unknown. You don't know 100% now.
For sure.
We can look at what Joe Lacob has done with the Warriors, and we can say, well, he's a championship owner, and he's committed to that franchise. And, seemingly on the surface, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but seemingly on the surface has been a great, up and up owner for that franchise, and has helped lift them to new heights. So we can translate and hope that that'll happen in San Diego. But again, you never
Chris,
can be sure.
This is a really interesting case, right? Because, I think in terms of being a baseball owner, there's or just managing a baseball, franchise is different than football and basketball, where you have kind of a soft cap and a hard cap in the other. There's a certain amount of discipline it takes, I think, to run on the baseball side. So I think it's going to be very interesting, no matter who ends up being. If it's Lacob, I mean, all of us are certainly thinking about the Golden State Warriors, but even there, right? There's an apron and a third apron, and if you can't be playing above that. And so in a free kind of spending area, it really boils down to how much are you willing to spend? How much are you willing to put into your team?
But how good are you at spending when you have no limit? Right. As opposed to how good are you spending when everybody has the same limit?
Exactly. And that'll be a true kind of, truth teller of how much what owner takes over is willing to put in.
Yeah. The last thing that you have to address to the fans, because some of them are going to always think it is, could somebody come in and move the team? Look, I read a headline today that I'm going to stick with in my mind, and that is that San Diego Padres are being considered baseball's beachfront property.
Mm.
And I think that's a good way to put it.
Where'd you read that? I need to go read that too.
Yeah, I just saw the headline, Tony, so I glanced past it. But I think, to me, you got Petco, you've got the sellouts, you've got the crowd and everybody into this organization here. You're the lone major of the four sports tenant. You've got everything in your side. Obviously, you can't make as much in TV revenue as some of the other cities. But other than that, man, you're in the finest, America's finest city. There's just no reason I would think anybody would want to move this team. And I think that is just an enormously long shot. But I think it has to be mentioned because some people are going to think, they're going to have that attitude. Oh, no. So anyway, I think it's a good day for the Padres, the organization. We'll see where it all leads to. We got a lot to get to today. Sports Court later on. We got a Big Five. Mark Ziegler is going to be with us, talk some Aztecs. We'll kick around the game last night when we come back. It's Gwynn and Chris. Welcome to it. Covering two different states today, from Phoenix, Arizona, back down in home to San Diego on 97.3 The Fan.
What's up?
my jam right here. I enjoy this one coming back from break. I think it's important that we didn't get to it because we got into the ownership stuff, but SDFC got right back to action last night, taking leg one of this CONCACAF, what is it, Champions Cup.
Correct.
They won 4-1. They fell behind 1-0, and then the onslaught of goals began for SDFC, and they get on the board with a 4-1 victory. I believe leg two is now back at their crib, if I'm not mistaken.
In Mexico City next week.
So
their crib.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's what the old Puma fans are referring it to as their crib.
Back at their crib.
Hey, that's a great start, right? 4-1. Did I not see a bicycle kick goal last night? Or was that something? It might have been from a video from another game. I don't think so, because I think it was at Snapdragon Stadium, and I thought it was last night. So you soccer fans help me out a little. But to give up one and then pour it on with four. Look, SDFC has just been – what a godsend that's been for our community as a soccer franchise. To go to the semifinals, start the next season off right just like this.
Yeah, no,
it's awesome, man. And we need it, Tony, because our fans are so fickle here. I mean, the diehard soccer fans are going to come out, but the fact that this team has been so successful has helped make it so big so early, and I like that.
Yeah, this is the I guess the Western Hemisphere's version of the Champions Cup on this side,
UEFA
right?
Champions League.
Yeah. So
right. Yeah.
So it's a big deal. They get their first franchise win in this specific tournament, and now we'll see how it goes. Now
there was a bicycle kick, and it was the Puma's only goal, or Pumas.
Oh, that was their goal. Sorry to highlight their goal, but
I didn't see Pumas' goal, but I was like, I don't remember seeing a bicycle.
Chris, you can put on your Pumas jersey now. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm a big Pumas fan. I always have been, but I'm sorry to say. I mean, look, if you see it, you're going to say the same thing. It was ridiculous.
You can recognize a great goal.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, bicycles was a pretty great goal, but it was a better win for SDFC at the other crib over in Viejas, San Diego State. They get back into the first place seat, at least for now. I think there's going to be some assistance up there after. I think it's when does those two teams play tonight? I think Utah State and who's the team behind them?
Mexico.
I think they match up. That matchup will dictate somebody being tied with San Diego State. But nonetheless, Aztecs get a victory over Wyoming. As Chris said, it wasn't their prettiest, but
it is New Mexico.
Yeah, they'll start to. They still found a way to get that win after falling behind early, but they scored 5 straight buckets, and then all of a sudden, SDSU got 6 of their own, and then they were off to the races.
Yeah. To say it was close wouldn't even be accurate. The final score was 9 points, but the Aztecs were up by 15-20. I thought almost the entire game. So, the one thing that I didn't enjoy about the game is something that makes basketball no fun to watch for me all the time. Whistles. Yeah. And you guys are going to say, "Well, you're a referee." And I say, yes, I'm a referee, but if I was ever blowing that many whistles, I would hate the game myself. Just way too many fouls. And I don't know if all of them needed to be called, but it did look like we were playing a little bit lazy on the defensive end, Tony. A lot of reaching, a lot of grabs and stuff that the refs thought they had to call. But, Reese Dixon Waters is starting to really become Reese Dixon Waters again. And I think we were unfair the first month of the season. We just expected him to come back after a year and a half and start, knocking down every shot. And it doesn't work that way. But now he looks like, he's such a threat. And I think he hit one from the logo last night, Tony, that was pretty sweet.
His confidence is high right now, too. You could just see it.
Right. And so, we got him now leading the way. Bird is doing it on defense. Still a little inconsistent at the other end, but defense is, still his calling card and their calling card. Obviously got to win all these games. I think, that if they can keep going here, they're going to go to New Mexico. They still got to go to Boise State. But if they can win all the games, other than those, I think they might get enough done for the at-large. They look like a tournament team again, which is not something I could have said a month ago.
Yeah, listen, I disagree in terms of their defense. I like their defense. There was a lot of fouls called. I chalk that up to Mountain West Conference officials, mid-year. You get these games where there's just it's just a whistle after whistle after whistle. But the Aztecs defense was good. 32% for Wyoming from the field overall. And that's more like the Aztec defense. We
used to see that every game, didn't we, back in the day?
100%.
It was always 32%.
At least felt like it. I mean, I thought Miles found other ways to affect the game. He wasn't himself offensively, but defensively he turned it up. And as you said, they're starting to really get Reese Dixon Waters is starting to turn into himself again. And mind you, they did it. BJ Davis had foul trouble. They did it without LZ Harrington. They did it without Guath. And so, they found a way.
Yeah, the good news is that they go to Air Force Saturday. I don't think Air Force has won a game. But before I say it's a gimme, it's never a gimme in that tiny arena at altitude. Weird stuff can happen, but they should win that game. And then they don't play next Wednesday. They get a bye. So they'll have a week after the Air Force game. And hopefully by then, Guath and Harrington are back and, much more, healthy. Because I think they're going to need everybody.
They for sure will.
To get done what they want to get done. I still have a little lingering, fatigue from that Utah State loss that I just wish it didn't happen. I didn't think it needed to. I thought they could win that game, and I know they felt they should have won it. But I'm glad that they, were able to put it behind them. And that's something that Dutcher's team has always done, right? They lose a game, they're somehow able to always seem to come back and play well the next game, and it's not easier said than done. So, good on them for that.
No doubt about it. The trade deadline continues to go absolutely bonkers. Mind you, trade deadline is not officially until Thursday, right? 3 p.m.?
That's right.
We still have another day. Still got another day, but I don't know if there's going to be anybody to trade when this is all said and done.
I think Giannis really would be the one. That's the only one left.
He's the last one kind of remaining here that his name hasn't been called as of yet, but boy, I tell you, you got Anthony Davis. That deal is officially a dud. The Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis trade, dud.
Depends on what he does with Washington.
Well, not only
I'm
that,
just kidding.
it also depends on how these 3 picks turn in. We'll get into that a little later on.
But that's a big deal. Anthony Davis going to the Wizards. And I mean, because you make the biggest trade of all time. You send Doncic for Davis. They basically, you remember people were protesting outside the arena. They were hanging the general manager in effigy after that trade. You and I were trying to stick up for him. I was probably trying to stick up for him more than you were, but I was trying to at least give the guy a little, let's see what happens. But now that we've seen what happens, to give away Luka Doncic and have basically at this moment nothing to show for it is one of the great disasters in franchise history anywhere.
Let's not forget the dominoes that took place. Like they make that trade, maybe a week later or a couple weeks later. Kyrie tears his knee up, which completely changes how I think that trade looks. Right, you go from having Kyrie, Anthony Davis to now just Anthony Davis, a hobbled Anthony Davis at that. It just changed it. And Kyrie had the type of injury where you're never going to end up getting a look at what it could have been with Anthony Davis. So you end up moving on from him. That is a huge, huge deal. Washington, though, now has Trae Young and Anthony Davis. If they can get him back to health, they might have something.
Well, and Trae Young originally was traded on draft day for Luka Doncic. So there's a lot of strange bedfellows there in the NBA trade world.
No doubt. All right, let's get to break. On the other side, we've got Mark Ziegler talking some Aztec basketball. See what his thoughts are as the Aztecs were able to get the win here last night, right here on Gwynn and Chris.
Ben and Woods on the Fan.
Tony, you
Much
care
more.
to?
Tony, I don't know where
does
Tony
Tony-
went.
Because Tony,
I see the
normally-
corner of his room.
Oh, well, hopefully he'll be back shortly. Harbaugh,
I'm not sure where he went. I might text him to see if he's okay here in a second.
hope he didn't. Yeah,
Did you think he fell in the shower or
well, I hope he
something?
didn't meet with foul play.
You think he met with foul play in our commercial break?
I don't know.
I mean, he is in New York City. So.
He's in New York City. It could be. You never know.
All right, we'll just go forward.
We're just going to go forward without Tony. I'm sure he'll rejoin us when he gets a moment.
Everybody stare at that box in the top right corner because it's just the corner of his room.
I'm going to look now. I'm kind of intrigued.
Oh, someone says maybe he's in the bathroom. I don't know.
He's been known to go there, as have all of us, frankly, but him more than most.
Over under, Tony just forgot that he was doing the show.
That's not nice. Out, so maybe that's what they're thinking.
You know what just hit me, Chris?
No.
What if Tony went out to get like ice or something and he forgot his room key?
That is something
Very
that
well
he
possible.
is more than capable of doing.
Because he would never be gone this late, this long, with knowing that he was on the show.
No kidding, man. We took a commercial break like 5 minutes ago, and he has not returned.
I'm going to text him.
Like, are you out in the hall trying to get into your room
Say,
right now?
Everything okay?
Oh no! This
Question mark.
is scaring me. No. Did you hear back from Tony yet?
No, I'm thinking.
Something.
I'm thinking he locked himself out. He doesn't have his phone because it's in the room, so he's down at the front desk or something. I
don't know. I'm sure there's a story in here somewhere.
There's
when we
definitely
get him
got
back
to
on
be
the
a
air.
story. Anyway. I was very concerned about Tony, and I took him off the screen because he's not back. I guarantee you he got locked out of his room.
I don't think you're wrong, because that makes sense. But how far away is the lobby? Of course, the New York hotel, it could be one of those ones where you got to wait a while to get up to the...
And he's just sitting in line. I don't know why I find this so funny, but it is.
Well, it's funny
to me.
if he comes back with a funny story.
Yeah, like
It's
I
not
locked myself
funny.
out.
It's not funny if he fell and hit his head somewhere
Well,
and we don't know where he is.
Of course,
That's not funny.
Of course, that's not funny.
He's obviously not with his phone because he hasn't gotten back to us.
Has Tony locked himself out before? Not during the show, but I'm sure he has at one point in his life.
Of all people, Tony would certainly seem to be one who would do it.
Oh, August also says, Clinton said, got to use the key card for the elevator too. So maybe he's just stuck.
You can't
in
even get down? No, you don't need the key card to go down.
Okay.
You only need those to go up. You should be able to get down to the lobby to say, hey, I locked myself out. In New York City. But if we do, can you go to the Padre Hotel and knock on Tony's door? We don't know where he is still.
No.
Still hasn't come back.
And I turned on
It's
his.
been 20 minutes now.
I know. Now I'm starting to get a little worried.
Yeah. Where'd he go?
I
What
don't know.
happened?
I don't know. I
We
would
don't
call
know-
the front desk of the hotel, but I have no idea where they're staying.
I don't know where they're staying either. And when you sent him a text and said, is everything all right? We have not heard back from him. He is still not back in his room.
I bet you he is standing in line in the lobby as we speak.
Trying to get his key back. Or a
Someone
key.
said text Jesse or Dave, and
It's really not a bad idea. Maybe at the next break, though.
Yes.
If we get to the next break, we got to text those guys so that they can go make sure he's okay. Because I don't know where he is. It's crazy.
Dave Marcus is probably the one to text
We'll text Dave.
because he's Jesse could be doing anything, but Dave's always there ready to go.
You're trying to say Dave has a ho-hum life and he'd just be
Well,
sitting around
he's-
waiting for a text, whereas Jesse might be busy. Is that what
Well,
you're...
I mean, Dave's been doing this job for like 30 years. I don't
see.
think the what is the word I'm looking for? Never mind.
All right. Well, there's certainly an explanation, but we don't have it yet.
Text Scan. I don't know Scan well enough to text him.
We're going to text Dave if this gets to the top of the hour, and we still don't have a Tony Gwynn Jr. sighting. All right,
Yeah,
do we
well-
just go to traffic like it's normal behavior time? I mean, it just seems
We got
weird.
to. We got to move on with the show.
Show must go on?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, we're going to do the good, the bad, and the really, really weird and ugly next here after traffic. All right, it's with less enthusiasm than usual that we embark on the good, the bad, and the ugly for week 2, Scrabe.
I'm going to try not to worry too much.
I'm going to try not to worry also. I'm not necessarily the worrying type.
I'm not either.
But, I'm intrigued now at this point. Like it's with this long pass to Devontae Smith.
He's back.
Helped put him there.
Hold on. He's back, everybody.
Stop everything.
I literally, we went to commercial break. I laid on the bed, and then I just fell asleep.
He's back. I never even considered it.
Tony, you care to
Tony, I don't know where Tony went.
Because Tony,
I see the corner of his room.
Oh, well, hopefully he'll be back shortly. Harbaugh.
I'm not sure where he went. I might text him to see if he's okay here in a second.
Hope he didn't. Yeah.
Did you think he fell in the shower or
I hope he
something?
didn't meet with foul play.
You think he met with foul play in our commercial break?
I don't know.
I mean, he is in New York City.
All right, welcome back to Gwynn and Chris, rolling along here on a Wednesday. A lot to get to. Mark Ziegler is going to join us shortly. Get us Aztec update following the victory last night over Wyoming. We talked about the Anthony Davis trade, big one in the NBA today. And if you just tuned in, SDFC back in action with a big win last night. And maybe the Padres organization a little more back in action with the Sheil Seidler dropping most of those charges and kind of paving the way for this sale of this baseball team. You're coming here, aren't you, Tony? Like within 72 hours, Phoenix. You're not far away, right?
Oh no, you too. Adam was just in here telling me I was leaving in 72 hours.
Yeah, Adam's trying to get rid of Tony.
It's like you guys want me out of here. Huh? I'm not I leave on the 15th. I'm not
on
leaving.
the 15th. Yeah. Oh.
I got another little bit of time here.
Okay. Sammy Levitt's coming down here, I think, on Monday, though. To start spring training reports.
He's the early bird gets the worm.
I mean, Sam's going to just wait outside that fence until they open it, okay? He's just going to stand there.
Sam Levitt, although he wasn't officially, he should have been a character in The Sandlot. Just seems like that kind of guy.
Sam does seem like a Sandlot kid.
Sandlot character.
Isn't this coming from a guy who's never seen The Sandlot, though?
Seen it on. What do you mean? I've never sat down and watched it word for word, but the MLB Network plays it on our TV screens 35 times. It's
true.
During the off season.
Yes,
so I think I've seen most of it.
They run out of little content sometimes.
So you don't know who Wendy Pfeffercorn is?
I totally know, and I've seen the scene where the kid fakes that he's.
All right, Chris is up to date. Never mind.
I'm up to date. By the way, I was also at Grand Canyon on campus today, and I wanted to run around and tell everybody that Michaela Gwynn is coming. She's coming, but wasn't really anybody around. We did go into the arena, and kids shot around for the game tonight, but. It really, you're right, Tony. It really looks like a beautiful campus. I will say this: the arena is really fresh. I mean, just brand new. And,
it's a very intimate arena. It's not like super big. It's perfect for that size school, which probably makes it a tough place to play in.
I have a feeling it's going to be a tough place to play, but the Aztec women are going to try to win their 14th in a row tonight, which is a good streak in any league. So we'll see if they
Where
can
are we coming up on
off.
the team record?
17 is the record for this school. So they got to negotiate 4 more wins to get to there. They're not obviously, well, at least they say they aren't, because we're in the day and age of playing one game at a time. You know that, Scraby.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Have we mentioned the Super Bowl is coming up on
We have.
Sunday,
I'm telling you, this has been the slowest rollout to a Super Bowl in my lifetime.
Pro Bowl was amazing last night, though. I watched my Super Bowl.
That's part of the problem
was
is that they're using the Pro Bowl for rollout. They need to stop.
You didn't see Jamar Chase's one-handed pick six last night?
No, I did not.
Did you see Micah Parsons rolling around in his little like scooter because he can't walk? It was great.
I did see where they gave George Pickens the MVP for what? Catching a touchdown pass in a flag football game with no coverage?
George Pickens was dominant last night.
Oh, get out of here.
He was.
There's nobody covering him, Scraby.
Yes, there are people covering.
Receiver.
There are people covering. Joe Burrow was taking this
covering?
very seriously. I believe last time I saw last night, he was like 17 for 20, 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. And that was in the third quarter.
He also threw it, but I thought he threw the pick that cost them the game at the end. I can't believe we're wasting our time talking about that.
Yeah, I'll call Mark Ziegler now.
Well, since we're talking about that, Scraby, what's the latest standings in the Tiger Indoor Stupid Golf League? You like to update us on that? I know
it's still ongoing.
Yeah, okay,
That's it.
All right. Well, yeah, get Mark Ziegler on there so we can talk about something a little more important. He did write this week, Tony, and we can ask him, but Brian Dutcher and the Utah State coach both talking about the changing landscape of college basketball and how no matter how much money the Aztecs have been able to raise for this NIL,
they don't have
you
enough.
guys like to say this, but they keep moving the goalposts, so you got to get more.
Yeah, and we heard Big Cronin yesterday talk about a salary cap. I mean, there's going to be these type of ideas thrown out there until there's some type of rules and regulations. Who knows when that'll be?
You know when it'll be? When they do the smart thing and name Mark Ziegler the commissioner of the NCAA. That's what we need.
I don't know if Mark wants
Ziegler
those problems.
I want no part of that. That's an insult.
I didn't think you would. Hi, Mark. Mark Ziegler from the UT is with us. We were just talking. We'll get to the game in a minute, but we were talking about the article you wrote earlier in the week with Dutch, talking about how, we're doing everything we can do. Utah State's doing everything they can do, but there's just more and more money pouring into this. On that side, never mind the eligibility rules at the moment, Mark, but on the NIL side, is there any end in sight to how much money, these programs are going to need to stay competitive?
That's the problem. The answer is no. And there's no sort of regulation. There's nobody overseeing this. Congress has tried, and they tried to pass a SCORE Act that might have done a little bit of that and created some regulation and some limits and some oversight. And the whole thing fell apart, and it's sort of dead in the water right now. It almost came up for a House vote, and then they tabled it. And so who knows where that's going. And so, football season, the teams already have their, the portal's been open and closed, and they've signed their guys and got their guys. And, basketball, it'll be the same thing in about 2 months when their portal opens after the season. And, it'll be done. And so for next season, I don't think anything's going to change. Now, in the future, maybe something could, but, Congress has bigger fish to fry than college sports. And it's just going to have to reach a point of, as Dutcher says, of just being so ridiculous that they have to step in for somebody to do something.
Mark, Aztecs get a victory against Wyoming last night. It got off to a good start. Second half, not as crisp, but nonetheless a victory. They're back in first place. It finally looks like we're starting to see Reese Dixon Waters start to move the way we've seen him move before the injury.
Yeah, and you saw the same thing I did. And in fact, that's my lead item in my 3 thoughts tomorrow is just, this guy's turned into a player of the year candidate. He is, and I don't want to say he's quietly done it because it hasn't been quiet, but I think a lot of people haven't really noticed. He's scored double figures at 12 straight games now. Yeah. I think every single Mountain West game he's been in double figures, and or maybe all but one. And he's just got it rolling. He's got his head right. And the thing with him is, every coach who watches him play says, gosh, that guy takes some really hard shots and he makes them. And so as a opposing coach, you're like, yeah, let's make him take hard shots, hard twos, a fall away in the lane with a guy draped on him. And that's his shot. Yeah. That's like he wants. And the other side, Brian Dutcher's like, how can we get this guy to actually take an open shot? And they're starting to get he admitted it. He's starting to figure that out. He likes to shoot off the dribble, and they're trying to get him to be a catch-shoot guy, and he's starting to figure that out. And so you're seeing him, instead of getting 10 or 12 points off of really difficult shots, he's getting 20 or 25. And that's sort of the watch-out moment for the rest of the league. If this guy starts to make take open shots and go all the way to the basket and draw fouls, which he did last night, and shot 12 free throws, and he's one of the best free throw shooters in the league, this is not going to slow down anytime soon.
Mark Ziegler's with us. Aztecs with the win over Wyoming last night. I'm going to leave the fact that everybody in the building, but probably you, Mark, called a foul last night. The whistles were going out of control. But I want to talk about how far this team can go if Gwath comes back, if Harrington comes back, everybody's healthy. And I'm asking in a sense of, before the season, the hype was probably overhype. And then the non-conference, the hype kind of went pretty far down to where we were like, God, let's just hope we are okay. Where's the hype right now? Do we kind of think maybe if things come together, we could do a little something in March?
It's a really good question. And Brian Dutcher kind of addressed it a little bit. He's like, I'm kind of excited for February. His teams, and I haven't written this, I'll write it again here, but he has an incredible record in February, and it's not a coincidence. His teams are, he's an older coach. He's a patient coach. He doesn't stress stuff early in the season. His whole goal is to be playing your best basketball in February and March. And so his teams almost always are, not every year, but they usually are. And it seems like this team is kind of trending in that direction again in March. And so I think there's a little bit more optimism. He said last night, I like where this team's at. And he goes, obviously we're not perfect, but I really like the way we're playing. And, my whole goal is to be in first place at the bye week. And all I got to do is beat the worst team in the conference. Now they got to do it at 7,000 feet in a place where they have struggled, including last year. But if they beat Air Force, they're in first place going into the bye week. He goes, then we reevaluate our two guys, LZ and Magoon, and see where they're at injury-wise, and just try to get them healthy for the way the schedule sets up. Those last four games are big. Utah State at home, at the Pit against New Mexico, at Boise, and then home against UNLV on senior night. He wants them ready for those four games and then rolling right into upward. Everyone's starting to play a little bit better. So I think, the optimism meter can spike up a little bit. But, don't get ahead of yourself. Think, well, this is a Sweet 16 team, because right now it's not.
Mark Ziegler joins us here, Union Tribune. And Mark, I always take heed when you hear Dutch talk like that, because it's not often you hear him say he is pleased with how things are going. So I took note that he said that. And the one thing that it has seemingly kind of moved in the right direction, albeit it felt slow in the beginning of the year, is his defense. It's really picked up. Last night they kept Wyoming to a 32% from the field. What do you think you've seen that has allowed this defense to kind of start getting back to the roots of where this program is built on?
Yeah, I asked him that exact question last night, because I noticed it in the last few weeks. Even at Utah State, they lost the game, but that was an incredible defensive performance, again, with a really short bench. They went from 11-man rotation basically down to 6 between foul trouble and injuries. And that's what kept them in the game. I mean, they shut the leading scorer in the league, didn't have a basket for the first 34 minutes of that game. He was 0 for 10 or 0 for 11, MJ Collins. And then Mason Falslev, who a lot of people think is the player of the year, had like 7 or 8 points and wasn't effective either. And it's started to grow. Dutch says the turning point was the Arizona game when they really beat them up in the first half. We're only down 2, led late in the first half, and then fell apart in the second. But it showed the team that, look, if we play defense, we can play with anybody in the country. And then you saw it at the Nevada game on the road. They won that game there. But I think even since then, it's gone up another level. And what you're not seeing team, like Colorado State last week could barely get the ball across half court.
Yeah.
And Wyoming last night really struggled. I mean, they play hard, but they're just getting bumped. And it's not like just guys are in the right positions now. They're being physical. And that was really an element of the defense that stood out to me in the past. I mean, you look at the 23 team that went to the championship game. They were so physical. They bump you everywhere. And it just got to the point where refs aren't going to call that. They're going to let you play.
Yeah.
And that's suited for the postseason. Then they start letting you play a little bit and the whistle stop blowing. You're starting to see it now And I think that will carry him through the month. I think that's probably the root of Dutcher's optimism.
Mark is with us, Mark Ziegler. I want to throw kind of a hypothetical at you, Mark, and I think I know how you're going to answer. Otherwise, I wouldn't put you behind the 8 ball here. But the whole thing with Alabama and the kid who, was a pro and then wanted to come back, and now UCLA, there's an NBA guy and he wants to come back. Let's just throw because I know what Dutcher would say, but I just want to confirm how silly this whole thing is. Let's say Lamont Butler came back tomorrow and said, you know what, I'd like to go back to the Aztecs. It hasn't quite worked out. I played my this and that, but I can squeeze another year of eligibility. Let's say he found some San Diego State grad judge in town who granted him an order that said he could do it. The bottom line is Brian Dutcher would just say no, wouldn't he? You know what I mean? Like, this is what bothers me a little bit. I get what the kids are all doing, but the coaches don't have to be okay with it.
Right. And then I think that's a good point because, no one is surprised that Nate Oates went out and did it. If anyone would have said, what coach is the one who's going to go get the NBA guy and get him back and get a friendly judge to get him a restraining order, everyone would have said, oh, Nate Oates. And doesn't mean he's a bad guy. That's just who he is, right? And Brian Dutcher put it this way. They're not sitting in the office going, hey, Jamal Franklin has 2 years of eligibility left. I was at a flight to Phoenix with Jamal Franklin and Malcolm Thomas, right? And there was a day that Bediako saying he got his restraining order. And I was telling them about it, and they said, God, this is crazy. And Jamal goes, hey, I got 2 years eligibility left. I left after 2. And Malcolm goes, I played a year at San Diego City JC ball. I get that year back. I got 1. How about we be the starting 3 and 4 man next year?
Right.
But Dutch isn't
Mark,
actively going out there and trying to do it.
Yeah. I got to run to the bus. You know how those work, Mark. Tony's got you the rest of the way. Thanks for everything from my end, pal.
Got it.
Mark, how you mentioned LZ Harrington and Mukungwa. What is the status of the 2 young men? They missed another game there last night.
Yeah, they Dutch is, I think they were going sort of game by game, week by week, and then they looked ahead at the schedule and they got through some of these tough games and they said, look, we're in first place. We got a relatively easy schedule this week with Wyoming and at Air Force, and then we got the bye week. Why are we going to rush them back for these games? We can win these games without them. Let's shut them down for another 2 weeks, and then let's try to really get them back. And so that's been the philosophy. And so my guess is they will not play at Air Force. They'll probably be on the trip just to be with the team, but they will not suit up. And then they'll take a couple days off, and then we'll get in the middle to end of next week, and then they'll practice them and then see how they react. They both are out there. They're both kind of shooting around. LZ's in a boot right now, but McGuire shoots around before the game. And I think then they'll see how their bodies react and see if they can go forward. And, he said last night, I hope to get one or both of them back. So I think there's still some uncertainty there, but that's the plan. And then obviously when they get them back, they're not going to be able to come out and play 30 minutes a game. But the idea is to get them back into some kind of shape by those last 4 games that start in the end of February.
Well, certainly hoping those guys get back healthy as soon as possible. It makes sense the way that they've kind of looked at the schedule to kind of, maybe try to drag out as much rest as you can heading into that bye week. Mark, as always, man, appreciate you coming on, spending some time with us. We'll catch up again soon.
All right. I'll talk to you guys.
Mark Ziegler, Union Tribune. Always fun to catch up with, talking some Aztec basketball after getting a nice victory over Wyoming last night. Reese Dixon Waters starting to catch some rhythm here.
Yeah, the injury bug is a bummer, but
yeah, it is.
It doesn't seem like they've had that many injuries throughout the years, but it's really hitting them right now.
It comes at least it's coming to an end at the right time, right? You got Air Force, you got the bye week, so they'll have some time to kind of heal up, get themselves into rhythm, and then hopefully be able to help the Aztecs as they go down the home stretch there.
Yeah, they definitely, going back to the salary cap thing, they have to do something. There are teams spending over $20 million on their roster, and the Aztecs can barely scrape together $3 million.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it is what it is. We can keep going talking about,
and I will.
We wish they could do something, or we wish there was something done. Right now, nothing's being done.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's high up on the list
This is
of
a
important.
test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
The civil authorities have issued a required monthly test for San Diego, CA, beginning at 2:45 p.m. and ending at 4:45 p.m. Test. This is the required monthly test. Test. This is the required monthly test of the emergency alert system.
It would actually be nice, Tony, if
I don't even remember what I was saying.
the emergency alert system would alert me to that it's about to play.
That is about to happen.
It never does, and it always happens during our show only, every single time.
That's
Every
right. It's
single
it's pretty surprising.
Yeah, it doesn't tell me anything. I just hit the button like I'm supposed to, and then boom, we're in the EAS
Oh, so you put us in that
on accident. I hit the button to
What-
go
what
into.
button?
I hit the button on the board so I can get it going, and then when it hits a certain time, it'll fire the element. But when I hit something, it immediately goes EAS, and it gives me no choice.
Well, that leads us to our last break of the 2 o'clock hour. We'll head into the 3 o'clock hour looking for some daily gambit.
Over under 7 more EASs in this show, Tony.
I don't think we'll have that.
I
we'll
think
have-
over.
Under. He came in on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Daily Gambit coming your way. Had some bets yesterday or last night, San Diego State being one of them. I should have went with my instinct. I did not, and it cost me in that bet for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Yes.
we are like really close. I know we kind of went over really close to the Super Bowl. I mean, we're like, what, 4 days? 4 days away?
Yes.
4.5 days away from
4 sleeps.
Yeah. from Super Bowl. And it just does not feel like a big deal this year.
I feel like this is
it
how
just me?
I know. I feel like each and every year I get older, it's not as big of a deal as the previous year. And I don't know that if that's because we're so busy around this time of year, because I used to count down the Super Bowl.
Used to couldn't wait for a Super Bowl.
Could not wait. But now,
just like another day on the calendar, basically.
it's like Patriots fatigue, I think.
Maybe it's the teams.
Like
Maybe
the
it's teams.
Seahawks, I sorry to make fun of the Seahawks fans, but I don't see a lot of people liking the Seahawks.
I see far less people liking the Patriots.
I
this
I would
way.
agree
Yeah,
with
yeah.
that. I would
So,
out this way for sure. Oh yeah.
Well, who are you around then? You're only around these people.
Seahawks fans?
No,
Oh, Patriots fans.
Californians. I said around people out this way. I would say the Seahawks are far more like to the Patriots.
They are. I get someone.
My question is, who are you around that allows you to feel like, other than your own hateful self towards Seahawks?
Select. It's probably all the 49er fans I know
okay.
that we always go, oh, it's a stupid Seahawks are in the Super Bowl.
That makes more sense. More sense.
It's the truth.
All right, let's play some Daily Gambit.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit, it's our daily sports betting segment. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. Tyler says about the Super Bowl, I think if the Super Bowl was last weekend, it would have been exciting. The week off and lame Pro Bowl kills the momentum.
I will say this year, the 2 weeks off has definitely felt way more noticeable than it has the past couple.
Yes. Tessa says, we're having people over, and I'm just like, meh. Now I have to clean for guests. I feel you on that.
That is definitely the correct description.
Meh. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, me too. All right. The bets that we made last night, we only had 4 of them, but we started with Wyoming at San Diego State. We both went Aztecs. They were 12.5-point favorites. The Aztecs won, but they only won by 9, so we did not win that bet. Then the other bet was, would they score over or under 77.5 points in the game total for the San Diego State Aztecs? You went under, I went over. They scored 72, so you win that one. Boston College at Duke. We both went Duke. Duke was a 26.5-point favorite in this one, but Boston College, I guess, hung in there, 67-49. So we lose that one, Tony. And then Xavier at UConn. You went UConn, I went Xavier. I should not have gone Xavier. UConn won 92-60, so it wasn't even close.
Smacked them.
Right. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it was bad. It was a beatdown. All right. I came up with the odds on this one for Aztecs women's, Tony. I am the bookie tonight. I looked at some of the previous matchups that the Lopes have played recently. They're not great. But I'll put Aztecs minus 9.5 at Grand Canyon University. What do you think, Tony? Aztec women's.
How did you come up with this number?
I looked at their previous matchups. The Aztec women beat them by like 17, and then they lose a lot in double digits. So I'm just going to say 9.5 because the Aztecs are visitors.
I'll take the over.
What does that mean? Which team are you going to take? Aztecs minus
Oh, I thought we were
no
Aztecs, of course.
Okay, I made the line, so I'm going to go with Aztecs as well. Future Pac-8 team with the Aztecs. Gonzaga at Portland men's basketball. Gonzaga 22.5-point favorite. I'm going to go with Gonzaga because Portland is not good. Tony?
This is University of Portland?
Yes. I think they're the Pilots.
Yes. What's their record? You don't know. Never mind. Under. I mean,
what is going on over there?
Portland.
Okay, Portland. The record is 10-14. So, all right, Portland sounds pretty good there. 20-something points. That's a lot. Another game, Texas A&M at Alabama. Alabama 8.5-point favorites here. I don't know if they have the. You're looking at me like you're going to answer over or under.
I was thinking about it.
Minus 8.5. I don't know if the professional basketball player is playing for Alabama tonight, but they're 8.5-point favorites, Tony.
Well, according to Ziegler, it's not a surprise that
Nate Oates
with it.
If there's one guy who's going to do it, it's Nate Oates.
I'm going to assume that the NBA is playing, so I'm going Alabama. Alabama.
I'm going to go Bama.
Right, it's not over or under, right? It's
no, you're correct. Okay. It's not over or under. I'm going to go Bama as well.
Bama.
Here's an interesting one. James Harden was just traded to the Cavaliers.
There's no way he's playing.
Cavs at the Clippers. Does, if James Harden play, get booed at the Intuit Dome? Does
yes.
He does.
I know. See, it's funny. He's trying to position it like he didn't ask for a trade.
That's not what the reports told me.
But we do know that, at least according to reports, that he wanted a 2-year, $80 million extension.
Yes.
Clippers said, meh. It said, meh. And then Cleveland was like, yeah, we got you, dog. We need to upgrade. 81.
I hate that teams do this. I hate that teams do this.
Why do you hate that there's...
Because do you think he's worth $41 million a year?
I think the bigger question is, do you think he's better than Garland?
I don't know that answer.
That's how you have to ask it. Not if he's worth 81, because he's worth whatever somebody gives him.
Do you think he made the Cavs better enough to win a finals?
Win a finals?
Get to a finals.
Yeah.
So we could be seeing the Cavs in the finals.
We could.
I don't see why he wouldn't play tonight.
Because it's just, they make these trades and then there's got to be medicals exchanged.
Well, he already played a game for the Cavs.
Did he really?
I thought he played a game for the Cavs.
He did not.
Already.
I did not see him in uniform. Knock it off.
Hold on. Let me see. Maybe this was.
Yeah, that was AI. I ain't never seen him play the Cavs.
You're right.
It's gravy. Knock it off, dude.
You're right. That was not a good reporting by me. I completely went through. Oh, it was rumors. Whether
He's out. He's out tonight.
Oh, that's lame. Play your game. Play for you. You just got traded. Come on. You're making $41 million a year. Come on.
Garland's out for them too.
Same goes for Garland, although I'm not as mad at Garland as I am at James Harden. Anyway, the Cavs, Tony, are the 3.5-point favorites here.
They got Donovan Mitchell. Ooh, but they got Kawhi. Cavs are favored by 1.5. I'm a
3.5. In LA.
They must have changed it. On ESPN, it's 1.5, but whatever.
Maybe it changed since I got it.
I'll take the Clippers.
Okay. Clippers. No, it's still 3.5 on DraftKings, so we'll go with 3.5. You're going to go Clippers. I will go Cavaliers.
Oh, you're right. It is 3.5. They're going Clippers.
I feel crazy because I am kind of crazy.
I can't read how these things. It opened at 1.5. It's at 3.5.
Okay.
That's what I see.
Okay.
Sorry.
Denver Nuggets at the New York Knickerbockers. Knicks are 4.5-point favorites. I'll take the Knicks at home, Tony.
Yeah. Nah, Joker's back. Give me is he back? Yeah, he's back. Yeah, he's back.
Nuggies?
Yeah, give me the Nuggies.
All right.
They covering.
All right. You know what I've been hearing, and we've been talking about it since we have like 90 seconds. The prediction market that everybody is talking about right now.
Ate with a passion.
I despise it. It's the same thing as betting to me. I mean, it's different, but they're marketing it as, do you think this team's gonna win?
Yeah,
you need to get it.
It's 100% betting.
We're already doing that. We're already doing that. We think that team's gonna win.
This is the analytic betting right here.
But I guess you can get in at different prices, and so that's why you're buying stocks basically. But pay attention, people, because I heard an ad and they said in the fast voice at the end, all bets for the prediction markets that are given to you when you open your account will be expiring after 1 year, and you cannot withdraw them. It's like, okay, thank you for telling me that in fast voice.
Know.
Yeah,
good to know.
It's like, dude, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
No one needs a prediction market.
We don't need a lot of stuff that we are indulging in right now.
I've checked it out. I wanted to see what it was all about, but I'm not a stock trader to begin with, so that whole thing of trading scares me.
Of course you did.
I feel like they're going to have so many issues with insider trading on this. Like, you know how they did that with the GameStop, where they all bought the GameStop and then they sold it or whatever it was? Yeah, it was GameStop. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, where they ran the stock up?
Yeah, I can't remember the actual term
GameStop.
for it.
It was
GameStop, but they had like a term for it. And I feel like that is going to happen at one point, is they're going to mess with and manipulate the system.
All right, let's get to break. On the other side, we're going to get into all of these NBA trades. There was a slew of them. And we'll get to all of them on the other side. More Gwynn and Chris.
97.3 The Fan is.
Now, you've been representing the Friar Faithful for a little bit here. Now you're out in the forefront. You mentioned family quite a bit. How important was it to get your wife Audrey on board with this? How long did it take you to get her in this direction?
It took a while. It's probably taken years, but I don't know. We were on the same page for a long time. For a long time we thought there's no way this is possible, with our family and be able to move them across country and take them out of school and all that kind of stuff. But we talked to enough people. We got to thank the Melansons. They kind of gave us the blueprint of how they've moved their kids from Florida to Arizona to San Diego, and we're going to follow that plan. And once we decided that, it was like, I talked about it a little. There was some peace that came over both of us to be able to say yes to this decision, because we knew it's an opportunity of a lifetime. Hard to say no to being the manager of Padres with a team like we've got.
Obviously, when you decided to retire in the 23, family's probably at the forefront of your mind. You've missed a lot of time with your kids and your wife. And now to fast forward to this point here, you're sitting in meetings at this point, interviewing candidates. And then, however long later, what was the timeline in between you interviewing guys or candidates and then all of a sudden having your name in the hat?
Yeah. Man, just to think about what my mind was thinking about 3 weeks ago was completely different than what it is now. Obviously I'm part of the organization and wanted to find the best manager for the Padres. And so I was in on some Zoom calls, to start that process. And then we and I were just having conversations about who we thought were great candidates and how we ranked them. And we got done talking about it, and he goes, well, I think I got you at the top of the list. And
he just dropped that on you.
Yeah, he just dropped that on me. And, it's a little bit of a shock, when someone, like AJ believes in you that much. And it pushed Audrey and I to actually think about this. And, is this something that we would like to pursue? If we got that much belief from the organization, we've got to make an informed decision. Yeah. And so then after that, we spent a lot of time, like I said, praying and fasting and thinking about this and how trying to map out the schedule and work it out with our family. And once we came to the conclusion we're taking everybody with us, then we felt pretty good about it. And we're able to say, if you're willing to offer the job to us, we'll say yes.
13 years as a reliever. You spent 6 here as a Padre. How has that shaped your viewpoint and how the type of manager you'll be?
Yeah, I think one quality I have is a little bit of loyalty, and I was lucky in my career. I only really played for 2 organizations. I played 1 year with the Guardians in the middle, but not in the big leagues. But most of my career started with Washington, and then it ended with San Diego, and I feel very connected to this organization. I feel like it is family. They've treated me like family. And so, being a part of this and being in this role is something that's very exciting, and I'm up for the challenge.
Now, you had to get it out the mud, so to speak, right? You weren't a high round draft pick. You're a guy who had to kind of grind. That's the word we often use around this game. How is that, or what kind of lessons from those type of situations are you going to be able to take into your managerial role?
Yeah, maybe it's like people doubting you a little bit or not saying you're quite good enough. And there's probably some people thinking that as me as the manager, but it's also like exciting to prove people like who I really am and what I stand for, and, maybe do it a little bit different than everybody expects. But, those challenges as a player, they were so enjoyable.
Yeah.
It was so, you've done it before. It's like fun to try to get the most out of your talent. And as soon as I took this job, like, that feeling of what I was as a player, like, when's my next workout? When's my next throwing session? That constant thought, that feeling, that little nervousness, that little excitement came back like right away. And it was like, I definitely missed that. Now, did I enjoy the 2 years in between? Yeah, I did. I got a lot, my handicap went down and all that kind of stuff. But, this challenge has gotten that excitement back, that feeling back of I'm in the hunt with the boys, and I'm ready to grind it out and make something special happen.
Now, you've been representing the Friar Faithful for a little bit here. Now you're out in the forefront. You mentioned family quite a bit. How important was it to get your wife, Audrey, on board with this? How long did it take you to get her in this direction?
It took a while. It's probably taken years, but I don't know. We were on the same page for a long time. For a long time we thought there's no way this is possible, with our family and be able to move them across country and take them out of school and all that kind of stuff. But we talked to enough people. We got to thank the Melansons. They kind of gave us the blueprint of how they've moved their kids from Florida to Arizona to San Diego, and we're going to follow that plan. And once we decided that, it was like, I talked about it a little. There was some peace that came over both of us to be able to say yes to this decision, because we knew it's an opportunity of a lifetime. Hard to say no to, being the manager of Padres with a team like we've got.
Obviously, when you decided to retire in the 23, family's probably at the forefront of your mind. You've missed a lot of time with your kids and your wife. And now to fast forward to this point here, you're sitting in meetings at this point. .318 on the clock. Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Scraby, Chris Ello, idle for the rest of the show. He'll rejoin us next segment, probably again in the 5 or in the 4 o'clock hour. Excuse me.
Probably in the 5 o'clock hour too.
He's hopping in and out today.
As much as he can hop.
Fortunately, because it would just be me and you again, solo bolo.
I don't mind that.
I'm sure you don't.
I'm trying to, get over the fact that we recorded Sports Court earlier, Tony. Let's just be honest.
Okay.
I put Chris's wig on, and it's been in my head since I did it. I didn't even put two and two together.
Germaphobe decided to put on a wig that he knew had been on everybody else's head.
I didn't even think about it. And now Chris called me out on it, and now I feel like I need to wash my hair or something. I'm not going to go as far as saying there's bugs in my hair, but I need to wash my hair.
Yeah, well, won't be doing that for quite a while, buddy. You got Chronicles next?
I do have the Chronicles tonight. We're going to get into this Shield Seidler thing, as well as maybe talk about the Super Bowl finally.
I know, we just have kind of kicked the Super Bowl to the curb.
It doesn't even matter anymore for us. Anyway.
Trades.
Yes. There's been a lot.
A ton of them. Clippers finally were able to trade Chris Paul.
Is that right?
Yes. They remember, I know it's been a thing, like he was sent home.
Yes.
He's just been home. He's still a Clipper.
That is weird.
Yes.
Because you would think that he was fired.
He was a Clipper. He's no longer a Clipper.
You would think that he was fired.
Yeah, no, he wasn't fired. They had to pay him. So you can't, I mean, can you be fired if they're paying you still? I mean, I guess so. I guess you can be. Managers, coaches always are fired. And
you are still kind of on the payroll.
Right. You're not in. I guess you're still employed, right? I mean, you're not employed? You're just getting paid like an employee?
Yeah. I don't know. That is weird.
Fired, but being paid.
When they terminate you,
Right. They're just
so
terminating your job. They're not terminating payment.
We
of
need
your
an
job.
HR person on the chat.
Yeah.
Please let us know how that works.
Anyway, Chris Paul is no longer the Clippers' problem. He has been traded to the Toronto Raptors. A lot of multi-team deals going today. Chris Paul goes to the Raptors. Man, a gentleman that I can't pronounce his name, Agbaja.
Good one.
He goes to the Nets along with some cash and a second rounder. The Raptors will not require Chris Paul to report to the team. He could still discuss moving him before tomorrow's deadline. So we saw Mike Conley get traded twice, I think in 24 hours.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Chris Paul could be in the same boat.
Lonzo Ball got traded.
Lonzo Ball got traded
to the Jazz, but then the Jazz are just going to let him go. What is the point of that?
They were trying to get some salary off of themselves, probably.
Oh, so they agreed to take Lonzo Ball, and then now he's going to be a free agent, so he can choose wherever he wants to go.
Yes.
I just wish his dad didn't make him wear those shoes, because Lonzo Ball was actually getting kind of good there.
Jacked up his knees wearing them shoes. Maybe he could find his way back home in purple and gold.
Yeah?
I would be mad at that.
All right. I mean,
You need a backup point.
I guess the Lakers are the Dodgers of the NBA, so just hoard everyone.
I would, as a Laker fan, would be mad at that.
No.
would be mad at that.
I mean, and he's going to be out there, so if the Lakers want him, they can go get him.
It's not going to cost you that much. That's for sure. More deals. We mentioned Anthony Davis. He gone. He's headed to the Wizards. The Sixers trade their first round pick from last year, Jared McCain. He goes to the Thunder for 4 draft picks.
Wow.
A 2026 Rocket first round pick and 3 second round picks. All go to the 76ers. OKC gets this young man who could play. He's been hurt. He got hurt. He's just now starting to make his way back, I think, from an ACL injury. But nonetheless, the Thunder got a little bit deeper. Not sure why they made this move. I know they're going to be missing Shea Gilgeous Alexander for a little bit, but I don't think that's why they made this move. This just seems like more depth that they've added in this deal. Chris's Chicago Bulls. Also, we talked about them making a trade yesterday. They made another one today. They trade Kobe White and Mike Conley to the Hornets in exchange for Colin Sexton and Ousmane Dieng in the 3 second-round picks. A lot of picks, man. This is
the currency of.
It's like young
basketball.
Prospects in baseball.
It is,
except
but
these ones aren't even fully grown yet.
Yeah,
they're not even born yet.
When you draft a guy, you're likely saying that he's going to be on your NBA team the next year.
Yeah.
It's not like baseball in that regard. So that's why they want so many picks. They can pick up a guy that's going to change their team's chemistry immediately.
And the Bulls didn't really need. I mean, Mike Conley and Kobe White, both guards. Remember, the Bulls traded for Jaden Ivey yesterday and Anthony Simmons from the Celtics. So they already had a ton of guards. So, still more to come possibly from this deadline, it looks like.
Back to Harden. Because he's quoted as saying, I wanted the Clippers to actually have a chance to rebuild and get some draft capital. So he's a good guy now.
I think he doesn't want
the smoke.
I don't think he cares about the smoke. Honestly, I think
You're probably right.
He doesn't really care. I think he actually is not, from his standpoint, he's not leaving this organization in the same way that he's left the other one. It's in his mind, this is on good terms, both sides. Whereas I think he was a little disgruntled in Brooklyn before he left because he didn't like, how everything was going. I think with Houston, time just ran its course. He was there for nine seasons. Yeah. He couldn't get over the hump there. And you know how it is when you are in one place for a long time and you don't have success. That is the conversation that starts to pop up.
Yeah, that's true.
We start having it for you. Like, even if you're not thinking about it. Well, I mean, does he want to win a championship? He's never going to win one there in Houston. Maybe he should go here. Maybe he should go there. And sometimes, as much as athletes like to say they don't listen to that stuff, it does start to seep into your own thoughts. It becomes one of your own.
I can see that for sure.
And so now he'll get a chance. He's going to be under more scrutiny if considering that he got an extension for 2 more years. This team considers themselves to be championship contenders. If he doesn't get him there, he should expect that there's going to be the same criticism coming his way.
Is the NBA out of the 4 sports, are the 4 big sports, is that the most trades during the year? Because it does NFL.
It just depends on
any trades.
It depends on the year.
The baseball can get pretty crazy.
Baseball can have some flurries,
but
probably
it seems like basketball
probably
all the
has
time.
more.
There's some sort of trade happening.
I can see that. We think the NFL has kicked it up here in the last few years, but
they have for the trade deadline. And the baseball trade deadline to me always is exciting, and then nothing most of the time happens.
It could be big, but it usually isn't.
It usually isn't. You're right. It's like some minor league player for a minor league player.
It gets your hopes like all the way to the top, and then it's like,
yeah, it is like that. Especially in San Diego, where like AJ, make a move, do something.
Shoot, the Padres are usually the ones that are holding up not holding up, but like making it exciting.
They are. I wonder how this is going to change if and when they sell the team. Like, is AJ going to immediately be able to spend money? I doubt it.
That's a great question. I don't know.
I don't know how all this works. Like, does the debit card get switched out for whoever buys the team?
I don't think they're doing debit cards.
It's like whoever owns the team comes in and says, "Hey, AJ, your salary this year can total up to $300 million. I don't know where that extra money comes from."
Debit cards, huh? Did you see Lakers Jackson Hayes push this mascot?
I saw Rumble. I didn't actually see it, but I saw Rumble.
He got suspended for a game, so it must have been.
Why did he push the mascot?
I didn't see it. It happened on Friday night. Apparently, he pushed the mascot. It wasn't injured. He or she wasn't injured. But it was. They deemed it egregious enough for him to.
Oh,
was it a bad push?
It was messed up.
Okay, so
that is messed up.
There you have it.
Look, the thing is running. I don't even know what it is. And he just
flag?
Yeah, he just tackles it into the cheerleaders, and then the cheerleaders hit the mascot. That is messed up.
Jackson Hayes
he's hiding, and then he does it on purpose. It's not like he was scared by the guy. Everybody type in Jackson Haynes mascot, and you'll figure out what we're talking about.
If you're driving, do it when you get home.
True.
All right, let's get to break. On the other side,
Sports Court.
Are we moving it up to? Oh, it was always here. Huh?
Yeah, it was always here. Sports Court.
Chris Ello rejoins us for Sports Court.
From the first pitch of the year to
coming your way here shortly. I got to say, this is a thought I had in my mind. I need to share it with somebody. And this isn't to like promote the actual product, but the Ozempic jingle maker, that dude needs a raise.
Ozempic. It's pretty good, I gotta say.
Are you kidding me? That's a real song, isn't it? I've
think
heard that
it's-
jingle before.
It's magic.
Was that a song or was
It
that,
has to
was
be
that
a
another
song.
jingle?
No, I don't think it was a jingle. I think that was a song, but
That's A1 right
that
there.
is. I gotta say, like, I didn't think about that.
That thing has been stuck in my head for like a week.
For like
And that's even when I'm not singing it out loud. You could rest assured if you could jump inside my head, that jingle is playing.
That's hilarious. So when you
Ozempic.
see Tony walking around the ballpark, he's probably singing Ozempic in his head.
Hey, I'm just saying that's how you make a lot of money.
It is how you make a
I
lot
mean,
of money.
Yes, the product needs to work, but I'm saying you got to start somewhere.
Did you ever see 2.5 Men, that TV show?
Yes.
Charlie Sheen's character was a jingle writer in that, and he was
Oh,
like
he was?
super,
That's right.
he was super rich
That's right.
because of the jingle writing.
That's yeah, shout out to the Ozempic jingle writer. That was yeah, I don't know if they were sitting around on the table or if he just caught the vibe on that one, but that's a winner.
Tony know how the rest goes?
No, I do not.
Me
But they
neither.
already got me locked in at that point.
Oh, it was, yes, they have you locked in. It was the 1974 hit Magic by the Scottish band Pilot.
Ah, see? They took a little Pilot vibe, threw a little Ozempic in it. They got themselves a hit maker.
They do have a hit maker. Where can I buy the album? Where can I buy the album? And then I love at the end when they're like, if you take Ozempic, sometimes you can, it results in death. Death.
100%. 100%. All right, let's check traffic and get to some sports court.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Getting a little busier out here northbound 15 before the 8 crash involving a motorcycle. Got the right lane blocked. Also, southbound 15 near University. We have reports of a collision involving a couple cars. They may be on the University off-ramp. Fire crews on scene of a car fire. Eastbound 8 for College. That right lane is blocked. Also, southbound 15 in the North County, just before Miramar Road, there is a collision. It's blocking the right lane. Oh, and an accident on southbound 67, just before the 52. It's over to the right shoulder. What makes Crystal Geyser less than
Also going to hear from an employee who's done with their previous job. And then there is a group of friends that bought tickets to the CFP playoff games and things went awry. So we will talk about that in Sports Court. If you love Mediterranean food, try Spiros for authentic Mediterranean cuisine in Coronado or La Jolla for dining or takeout options. Visit spiroscuisine.com. Here we go with number one. And Chris, you're up first.
All right.
My son is 8 years old, and for some reason, he has been seeing the Winter Olympics promotion, and he's really, really, really excited for them, mostly for the bobsled, luge, and skeleton. He's been asking to watch videos of it from 2022, and it's actually been nice to see him focus on something like this. I asked him which American bobsledder is his favorite, and he told me he's not going to cheer for the USA. He's going to cheer for the Swiss team because, quote, they look cool, end quote. I know this isn't a big deal, but I am American, and I want my son to cheer for the American teams as well. We don't live in Switzerland. Chris, should I explain to him what country pride in the Olympics is?
I think you can try to explain it. I don't think he's going to listen to you. There's something about the Swiss team. He saw a photo somewhere that he likes or a video.
They do look cool, I will say.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know if you guys probably didn't see this. Saturday Night Live did a very funny skit the other night promoting the Olympic Games. And one of the characters was like a skier, and they're like, man, I've really committed myself. I've been working my whole life. And then the next character was a skater, and they said, oh, I've learned all this stuff, and it's been in my life forever and ever. And then the third character was a luge athlete, and she looked at the camera and goes, I don't know, I just lay on the thing and it goes. And it was really funny. And then they showed her practicing, and then like the coach was trying to throw her onto the sled. She's like, I don't want to go. And, so it was kind of a cute thing. But the luge and the bobsled have always cracked me up, because even Herschel Walker, I don't know if you remember this, when he played in the NFL, he became part of a bobsled team while he was in the NFL just because he was fast. And he had to learn how to jump in. And then once you jump in, you go. So I've never understood.
So what does this have to do with
attraction.
the kid cheering for the Swiss team?
Well, because you talked about him being a bobsledder fan and a luge fan.
Okay, I was just trying to steer us back.
We're steered back. I say you can explain to the kid, but he's going to have to root who he roots for.
I understand this.
What are you gonna do if he roots for the Swiss? Throw him out in the street?
Put him in a gulag or something. Okay. Tony.
Yes.
What would you teach your son about country pride in the Olympics, or let him cheer for the Swiss team?
Nah, you could do both. Teach him country pride.
How would you push your son into cheering for the Americans?
I don't know that I would push him. I would just,
how would you
teach
guide
him a little bit about, having pride where you're from, and then at that age, he might be interested in the colors of the team.
I think that's mainly what it is,
right? Like it's not that deep. You know
like
what
the
I'm saying?
Swiss bobsled is red and it's all shiny and it's got the Swiss cross on it.
A lot of cool colors, man.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that deep, honestly.
When I was little watching the Olympics, I used to root for all the distance runners from Kenya. I thought they had but we didn't have any distant runners in that level.
No.
The
Kenyans
easier to do.
Control.
Yeah.
Kenyans and Ethiopians, they control the distance run. All right. So you guys, Tony taking a little bit of a different tactic as Chris. All right. Next one. And Tony's up first. The company I work for was acquired, and I spent 3 months training my replacement before moving to a sister company. I created detailed guides and walked her through processes, telling her she could reach out afterward. 6 months later, she still emails me constantly with questions, often for things in guides or that we covered. If I delay in answering, the worst part, she often follows up with, quote, never mind, I figured it out, confirming that she actually can solve problems without me. My old boss says she hasn't gotten the hang of the role with making this harder on them. When I started the job, I had no trainer, and I had to learn everything alone. I feel like she's overly reliant on me, a crutch I never had. I offered help to be professional, but now I'm her unpaid ongoing support, and I'm increasingly annoyed. I feel guilty wanting to stop answering since I offered help, and I'm a nice person. But is it wrong if I set a boundary and just stop responding, Tony?
No, I don't think it's wrong. I think you can respond as you please. You no longer work there. And if you get an email and you feel like answering it and you know what the answer is, have at it. If you don't, then hey, you look at it and it's like, I don't feel like it today. That's also fine. You no longer work there, nor are you getting paid. This is at your discretion. So I wouldn't trip about these emails, Sometimes you can feel like, and eventually she'll start to realize, man, I send it to him, I might not get an answer back right away.
Yeah, so I must go elsewhere.
Right, exactly. And so, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
That's how I get along in this building.
Sometimes
go
you
elsewhere. Chris, do you, what was the question? Do you think it's okay to set boundaries and stop responding?
I think it's okay to set boundaries, but if you're asking me personally in my own courtroom, I never have been able to do it. People that have, I felt, been able to kind of take advantage of me because of something I've offered, I always just keep on doing it. I don't know why. Maybe it's something I personally need to work on. But I will give this guy a little bit of girl.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'll give her a little bit of of advice. Go find a spot where all of the go to a bunch of divorced women and ask them, keep calling them and asking them for advice on how to handle the money and the bank card and how to work this and work that and do the iron and the laundry. Right? This seems like a similar situation. So straight up, it seems like a no-brainer that, once you're divorced, it's now your job to do your thing. I do my thing. But the lines are often blurred.
I'm 100% with Chris on this. I have definitely been taking advantage of my life because someone will be like, hey, Scraby, can you create a simple video? And I'll be like, yeah, I'll also put a bunch of effects to it and also do all this other stuff for free. And then they keep coming to me for videos because I've already given them a great free video.
Yeah.
I have
by the way, after the show today, Scraby, I need you to help me with some stuff. So
sorry, I'm unavailable. I'm unavailable. But yeah. This is a similar thing. There is a time in my life where someone did this to me, and I mean,
everybody is taking advantage of until you stop allowing yourself to be
until
taken
you
advantage.
stop it.
No,
Right,
it's
and
true.
you're right, Tony. But it's hard to stop it sometimes.
It is hard because I'm a people pleaser, and I want to please people, and so I want to make them happy. All right, final one. My friend group and I wanted to get tickets to one of the CFP playoff games, college football playoff. A text thread was created to coordinate purchasing tickets for our group that I was added to, as were several other friends and mutual friends.
This wig is outrageous today.
Trust me, I know. My ears are on fire. I did not receive pre-sale.
Scraby, by the way.
What?
We need to stop this segment.
Why?
How are you wearing the wig that I normally wear? Do you know the kind of germs that are on your head right now?
It's too late now.
It's too late now.
I think that was usually Tony's.
No. I get the nice wig all the time.
I don't know that it's
I have fleas now.
I get the nice wig all the time, dog. You see how
you can take off the wig, Tony, if you want.
Lays on my shoulders. No, I already got it on. I'm gonna finish this segment now.
Oh my gosh!
You are the biggest germaphobe ever, and you just covered your head in a wig full of my germs.
It's a shame being a germaphobe and having it happen to yourself.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen to you,
wash
Scraby?
my hair now.
Yeah, you can't wash it until
Absolutely
about 8,
nothing's going to happen to you,
at night.
and you're going to. Hopefully, you're going to understand that you're overly concerned about this.
I might catch
nothing's going to happen to you.
I might catch your hair disease. That'd be terrible.
The only hair disease I have is that I lose my hair. That's it.
Exactly. All right, back to this. I did not receive No, it is a fair call out. I did not receive pre-sale, but fortunately some other friends did. One mutual friend, I don't really know him, successfully purchased 8 tickets for our group. Because I'm not close with this person, I texted individually outside of the group to coordinate a payment for my ticket and the eventual transfer to my Ticketmaster account. The next morning, it was brought to my attention that he had sold my $568 ticket on accident, quote unquote. He had listed it online and sold it for $1,995.
Oh, I'm hot.
He texted kindly apologizing for the mix-up and then refunded the $568 I paid for the ticket. But this was not their ticket to sell, accident or not. I'm uncomfortable with the amount of money this person's making on a ticket that I had previously paid for and that they refunded me.
He only made $500-something.
So he made over $1,000.
Yeah, but he gave
$1,400 is the resale.
Okay.
$1,400. So I'm uncomfortable with the inflated real estate and requested the profit, but he called my request, quote, insensitive and hurtful, claiming the profit is his since he was the one who actually bought them during the pre-sale. So Chris, Tony's up first here. I'm sorry. Should they get the profit?
This is really confusing, but I think I get it.
Okay,
so.
let me
I think
sum
I
it
got
up.
it. Let me give you the sum.
Should I get the profit?
Yeah. Right.
Or is it okay for them to sell it?
Okay, so what happened was a group of people wanted to buy some tickets.
Yes.
It went through one person, and one person bought these tickets.
Bought 8, yes.
And then
everybody paid that person.
They paid that person.
Yes.
But the one person went and physically got them.
Yes, one person
Purchased them.
signed up, got the 8 tickets, and was going to transfer it out to everyone.
And then he
And then I bought
accidentally
my
sold.
ticket.
Right. You had already everybody.
Accidentally, right?
No, the person who
Yeah.
bought the ticket bought the ticket.
Right. So
Okay.
the person that's writing the
Correct.
the Reddit or
Yes.
whatever it is
Yes.
is a part of a group of 8 that
Yes.
already paid this guy for their ticket.
Yes.
He bought the tickets.
Yes.
He gave everybody else their ticket, and then it
Seems
said
like.
sold this other person's tickets, or sold the person who wrote this
For
ticket.
over a $1,400 profit.
And
or
the
nearly.
person whose ticket it was supposed to be
Yeah.
wants all of the money.
They want the profit because they agreed that once they send the money to that person for the ticket, it is their ticket. They are just the middle
Was
man.
the agreement in writing?
I don't know that.
Doesn't sound like it.
I mean, you don't
Yeah,
think you have to
sounds
do
like-
stuff like this in writing.
Sounds like that's why they're in our courtroom, Tony. We have to figure this out.
Exactly.
Well, this person's out of going to the game now altogether too because they don't have the ticket.
Don't argue the case. You're not a lawyer. You're just the bailiff who brings us the
Get
case.
out of here, bailiff.
I am going to
Don't
be the
argue the
prosecutor,
case.
and I'm prosecuting
Bailiff,
this.
we're
this,
gonna have to
this
put you in
thief.
contempt if you keep this up.
Put me in
Goodness
contempt.
gracious.
Go
ahead,
This is an
Tony.
interesting case. I mean, on one side of things, the gentleman writing in or who's in our courtroom and asking for the full funds,
Yes.
never actually physically had a ticket. He was always dependent on this one individual to go get the ticket. Now, this one individual seems a T-bit shady. I must say.
A T-bit.
A T-bit shady. I mean,
A T-lot.
he, for whatever reason, picked. Is it the gentleman that wrote this?
Yes.
Picked this specific gentleman.
I think I know why.
Okay, why?
They're the least connected person in the group.
Yeah, I think my ruling is that this individual sucks as a person.
The thief. The thief.
No, I'm not calling him a thief. He's not a thief because he refunded the money back that was given for the ticket. So I am going to say that although this dude is not a good dude, this is not a person you want to do business with. He didn't actually do anything illegal. I don't know that he should be giving up this money to the individual that wrote it in.
All right. Judgment. Chris, what do you say about this case?
Ha I say
He says,
that
ha-ha.
I say that I'm a judge. And if I feel like putting a law in that isn't yet in the books, I'm putting one in. And in this case,
judges
the guy
judges can't just write laws willy-nilly.
Well,
maybe
I'm
they
writing
can.
this. I don't know. I'm writing this one. He can go appeal it at another court. But in my court, I'm looking at the guy who was completely taken advantage of, and I'm looking at the guy who took advantage of him, and I'm ruling in the favor of the first guy. And I want all that money taken advantage of. He didn't get to go to the game. The very least, he gets that money. The guy who was shady the whole way, laws be damned, because I know it's buyer beware, but laws be damned. You don't get that money at all in my courtroom.
Life in
Sorry.
prison? Life in prison?
It might be a bit much, but no.
I might give a parole opportunity after 20 years.
Firing squad?
Firing squad.
All right. I thought that one would be a fun one. We actually
It
got
was
a split
pretty good.
decision on that. All right. That's it
Split
for
decision.
sports court. I'm going to go wash my hair. And when we get back, I'm going
goodness. Yeah, you got
to do
problems.
some Chris versus, or not Chris versus the fans. It's going to be Gwynn versus the fans when we get back here. 97.3 The Fan. 833-288-0973.
MVP contender Drake May and Sam Darnold.
Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Scraby, Gwynn and Chris. Crisello idle as he is with the Lady Aztecs down in the desert. Old Arizona.
A place you're going to go to many a times.
Place I'll be at in less than 2 weeks.
You know, I never thought about this, but it will be nice when you're in spring training and your daughter's out there.
It will be.
Yeah. Then you guys get to spend some time together.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
And you don't have to sit in your Narnia apartment by yourself with the 7,000 doors. It was pretty funny.
Yes, that is also very true. A couple things in Major League Baseball before we get to some Gwynn versus the fans. Big day tomorrow in Detroit. Tariq Skubal is aiming for a record-setting arbitration number. He's aiming at $32 million. Now, for those, just a little background. Typically, arbitration teams will come to a midpoint, right? Typically, the numbers aren't far off. Maybe you'll get like I'm just throwing this number out there, a $28 million, players asking for, a team saying, nah, we think he's 23.4 or 23.5. It's usually close. In this case, it's not very close at all. And you can understand why. Tariq Skubal has had tremendous success in his pre-arbitration time. He's also carried the Detroit franchises to heights that I think they got to, quite frankly, early, in part because of him.
They probably peaked too early.
Did. I think they did. I think they got there probably a year, maybe too early. Nonetheless, he wants to be compensated. His side is asking for $32 million, which would be a record.
And he kind of deserves it for his last 2 seasons.
I don't think there is no doubt he deserves it. The highest case to be decided by the panel is 19.9.
That's way low from
that
the 32.
Was for Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Oh. So I guess they're not afraid to break records.
By the way, Detroit's coming in at 19.
Yeah, that's
so the highest they've ever awarded
apart.
is 19.9. The Detroit Tigers are coming in at 19. Tariq Skubal's coming in at 32.
What do you think? Obviously, he wants more money. What do you think he'll accept from the Tigers?
By the way, this is you know who has the largest arbitration deal? Not necessarily decided by the panel. That was 19.9.
I do not.
Just take a guess.
Manny?
Nope.
Fernando?
Nope.
Jackson?
It's nobody on the Padres.
Okay.
Anymore.
Ronald Acuna Jr.
Juan Soto.
Oh, yeah. He always does break things when he has to go through them.
$31 million. So Skubal's like, I want $1 more million than him. I want to be the highest.
Wow.
It's going to be a tough case. The decision by looks like Gene Charles and Walt D. Truex.
Those guys
and
definitely.
Alec Pinnock.
Man, those guys are great arbitrators.
Or Alec.
That would be a bad name for an arbitrator. Panic.
They're expected to make this decision tomorrow, so we'll find out.
Wow. All right.
It's a lot of money on the line there.
And then we'll find out that he's been traded to the Dodgers.
Pirates still active.
Yeah, let's get into this in the next segment.
Minor league contract. I know where you're going. I'm not going there yet.
Oh, okay.
Minor league contract with Mike Clevenger. So
he's still around.
Yeah. Had a 3.55 across 9 seasons. All right, let's get to Gwynn versus fans.
Oh, that's right. Darn it.
You don't have the music cued, huh?
Did I just say my name in the third person?
Did.
I did.
You did.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
It's actually Gwynn versus the fans. I made a mistake on that. Was not thinking. Rod has a good point. Tiger should have traded him to the Padres for the Puesto Tacos cook. I mean, he is really good. Puesto Tacos are delicious. So
Puesto Tacos don't mess around.
They do not. The prize, we are qualifying you for a trip to Las Vegas, I'm sorry, not a trip to Las Vegas. You will be qualified for a chance to win this week's grand prize, a pair of tickets to Guns N' Roses at Snapdragon Stadium on September 2nd. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Again, we are drawing those this week, so you will hear by the end of the week, or at least by Monday. The rules, you have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Tony gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Tony gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. If you're a first-time player, let us know before you get into it. And then you'll get that question for free today. All right, let's go to the phones. And we will go with... I've never seen this name before. Steve? Well, I've seen Steve, but I don't know if it's this Steve. Hello,
Hi,
Steve.
Steve going once.
Hello?
Hello,
Steve,
Steve. Are you there?
Hello?
Hello,
Yeah,
Steve.
am I there?
Yes, you're on the air, so don't swear, okay? You ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Boom. There we go. First question.
What does the PGA stand for in PGA Tour?
Professional Golf Association.
I'll give it to him.
Scraby was trying to be the
I was thinking about it.
exact correct police
It's
over here.
Professional Golfers
Yes,
Association.
you got
but
it right.
You're close enough.
Oh, okay. Oh.
You're all good. You're all good, Steve. We go to question number
Hey,
2.
I do have a Tony Gwynn Jr. story. Real
Hang
quick.
on.
Let's finish the
Okay.
game real
Yeah,
quick.
we'll
Or
finish
finish
this.
this round.
Okay.
Which team won the Pro Bowl last night?
Oh, geez. You know, I thought I was watching like that golf thing. That's
TGL.
sort of what it looked like. I will guess. I didn't watch the end of it, but the AFC took the lead when I was watching, so I'll just go with AFC.
This is a really bad question because Tony gets it right immediately. So I'm going to ask a different question.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to ask a different question. I've done this before.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice job, Scrape.
Thank you. Let's
Heads or
go.
tails?
Okay, here we go. What is the name of the stadium the A's play at?
I think it used to be called Rayleigh's.
Ooh, you might
I'll
be
go
right
with
on that. Stay there. Stay there. You might be right on the Rayleigh's.
I believe it's Sutter Health.
I feel bad for Steve. I feel like I ruined his game.
Steve, let me hear the story.
Yeah.
Okay, well, when you were 12 and you were going to Twin Peaks, I think you were 12, you were in some sort of game, and I was umpiring, and Fernando's kid was pitching, and I unfortunately struck you out on a curveball in the inside part.
Fernando Valenzuela's Jr. is I think you were talking about.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty cool that it was happening.
I vaguely remember that. It was at like Lake Powell
Yeah.
or something, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I ran into you because I was substitute teaching at the time, and I apologize the next week. So, there you go.
Wait, I missed the part. Was it a good call or was it a bad call?
Oh, it was a good call, but I felt bad. You know?
Tony's saying it was outside.
It's inside.
Or inside.
Inside. It would have been
left on
inside.
left
That's where it would have
breaking
been.
ball. It never quite got to the inside.
Well,
corner,
Steve,
but,
thank you for
it
telling that
happens.
Oh,
story.
my
That's a
God.
good one.
Steve, I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye, Steve. That was a good story. I love it how baseball players will never, hitters will never give it to the
I
umpire.
actually remember. I do actually remember that he had bat. It was a night game in Lake Poway. Very rarely did you
How
play.
do you remember
I don't
this?
know. I remember that one in particular.
That's crazy that you remember this. All right. And you were facing Fernando Valenzuela's son?
Junior, yeah.
This is like a who's who of Little League over there. Jeez. All right, let's go to our next contestant. We're going to go to the screener says Fern. Hello, Fern.
No, it's Ken.
Ken. I don't know why.
Ken, how are you today?
Okay, Ken.
Because the contract's probably under my wife's name.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
All right, Ken, you're in as Ken now. So are you ready to play?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go.
Yes, I'm a first-time player.
Oh,
we got a
you got
first
it in.
time
player. We're going to question number 2. Shohei Ohtani created a new 50-50 club in 2025. What was it?
I have no idea.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay. Stay right there. Tony gave me a look like, what are you talking about, Scrape?
The new club he created.
He created, yes.
Oh, it was the 50 homer, 50 stolen base club.
$50 homer, 50 strikeout club.
Oh my God, this is so stupid.
Is that not a thing?
No, it's not a thing.
How many people have done 50-50? I don't think he was the only one, right?
50 homer,
50 steals.
I said stolen bases.
I know that, but the actual what I'm looking for is 50 homers and 50 strikeouts in a season.
What I'm asking you is, did he only struck out 50 times?
No, he struck out over 50 guys throughout the season. I don't know. I took this from an MLB trivia website.
I guess it's a thing.
Dominic says, "Come on." I don't. I mean,
I guess it's a thing. It's a thing. I guess. I mean, yes. No, there are people who've.
Now that I'm thinking about this, wouldn't Babe Ruth have struck out over 50 guys and over 50 homers?
I would think so, but but either way, I mean, it's such an obscure club. You know what I'm saying?
All right, I will admit that was a bad question.
50. Oh man, I thought for sure I was like, this is
easy.
This is 50.
I will take the blame for that bad question. Okay. All right, Ken, you're on to question. I'm so glad Chris wasn't here because
Chris would be eating you alive. I'm gonna tell him about it tomorrow.
No, you will not. Chris will jump off of the top rope on me.
This needs to be cut up.
All right, here we go. Who were the two MVPs of the Pro Bowl last night?
You deserve this if you win this one, Ken.
No way. I could not watch that game if they were paying me.
Oh, wow. All right.
I actually tried to watch it. I couldn't. Like, you know how you it just out of habit, like just turn the channel? I think that's what happened. Like, I was trying to watch it. The next thing I know, I was watching something
What was
else.
wrong with it?
It just wasn't entertaining.
All right. I
don't know who won the thing.
You don't?
I don't know. So Ken,
how could you not be paying attention?
Let's crown Ken the champion and get up out of here.
All right. Good
Nice
job,
work,
Ken. I'm gonna put you on hold. The answers: George Pickens on the offensive side and Antoine Winfield Jr. on the defensive side.
Shout out to both of them, man. They did a terrific job last night.
I mean, Pickens was all over it.
All right, let's get to break.
Tony's like,
Pirates,
get me out of here.
The Pirates. I'm telling you, they seem to be thinking they're serious about winning.
What is happening?
They're serious about winning games. We'll discuss on the other side. Here's some traffic.
From the 8-5.
on the clock, and you would have thought that Scraby had participated in 420 with some of those questions that he just put on display.
I did not expect that.
I mean, a 50-50 joint in the first one.
Yeah.
And then wow, I don't even know how you would categorize that Otani 50-50 question.
Oh, you mean the AFC, the 50-50 AFC NFC question, and then the Otani 50-50.
Yeah, so if they're both 50-50 questions, I'm sorry. Yes, the AFC question or NFC question.
Not my finest moment.
No, it wasn't.
No.
It wasn't. That deserves to be clipped and put on social media.
So you know that the chat is always on top of it.
Yeah, no, they don't miss this. I'm sure they've been on your head top all break.
Yes, they have. Bat fan said he screamed an expletive. I have used AI in the past.
Here it comes.
To get trivia questions when I can't think of any. And so that came from AI.
You want to tell the folks which AI so that
Google Gemini.
So they can stay away from that
Google
one?
Gemini, because we have
Let me ask you a question. How exactly, because part of AI is the how you ask the question for them to get the information.
Yes, I say, can you create 2025 Major League Baseball trivia?
And that didn't come out. That came out of baseball trivia?
Yep.
That exact question.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, AI is not wrong.
No, because he did strike out 50 guys and he did hit 50 home runs.
Right. And he probably is the only one to ever do it.
Yeah, someone was saying that Babe didn't hit
50.
He didn't hit 50 while he was still pitching.
Right. So I'm just saying, that's technically it's not wrong, but it is
Google Gemini get smarter.
It is a pretty out there trivia question.
It is, but it's true. He started a new club. K-Law says, I understood your point, Scraby, because Ohtani already did 50-50 in 2024. That's right. Thank you, K-Law.
K-Law, you and Scraby are the only one on that wavelength right
AI
now.
is also bad at baseball. I have checked these answers because AI, the Google Gemini is getting better. And
it's got to learn. That's the thing.
But that was not incorrect. It was just a weird question.
It was just a weird question. You can make a bunch of those, really, if you really wanted to. Like,
oh yeah,
who is the only guy
who stole 3 bases and walked 75 times in a season?
Right, exactly. The Pirates, told you before that we went to break. Mike Clevenger signed a minor league deal. Apparently, they are hot on the heels of Framber Valdez.
Yeah.
Now, Framber has certainly had a slow offseason. And as we discussed with Matt Snyder, sorry, Jokic got me all concerned.
I saw your.
He fell down and then he was just laying there he stepped on somebody's ankle.
Oh. Yeah, Tony's eyes got very concerned.
Let me tell you, when a big man steps on somebody's ankle and they go down,
it's a long way down.
They're gonna be down there for a little bit. But Framber Valdez, as we talked about with Matt Snyder on Monday, may very well be, paying some consequence of not only the cross up that was talked about. It's been talked about even during spring training, but also I think the other fact is that he didn't throw the ball well in August and September. I think we read the numbers. He had a 4 in August and then a 5 in September. So, going into your free agent
and his
year,
age, he's
32.
Yes, he's older. So
you're looking for that long term. I don't know. This is but the Pirates, back to the point, have really been in on, when you take a step back, they have missed. And when you think about it, I mean, the choices that the other players had, you understand why they haven't been first on the list. The only one, quite frankly, that has picked them is Ryan O'Hearn.
That's true.
He's the only
very
one.
Excited.
Everyone else, whether it was, who was it? The most recent one they went after.
They've been
it was
involved.
A big free agent.
Yeah, they've been involved in a lot, but it doesn't really.
Oh, Suarez. It was Eugenio
Yes,
Suarez.
it was. Yes.
They were in on him as well, around that same 1 year, $15 million deal. They're at least trying. And you wonder what has all of a sudden got them to be like, okay, maybe we do need to do it.
What?
I mean, I guess when you have squandered so much talent over time, maybe you figure, all right, we better try to capitalize on this at some point.
Yeah, I don't understand. Bob Nutting woke up one day and was like, you know what? I think I want to try now.
It was interesting. There was I can't remember what it was. It was Foul Territory. One of those shows had the top 10 poorest owners in terms of their net worth.
where was Nutting?
Nutting was in there. He was top 3.
Top 3 poorest.
3. Yeah. Top 4, you'd have to bring your boy up from Colorado.
Dick Monfort?
Yeah, Richard.
Really?
He's 4th.
He talks like he's the richest guy in baseball.
The one that would blow your mind that was 10th on that list. It kind of makes sense when you kind of heard him cry poor all season.
Oh, the Yankees guy?
Yeah.
He did cry poor.
He's 10th on the list, and this is in terms of net worth.
Yeah.
This isn't necessarily franchise value, but yeah, he's the 10th poorest owner in baseball. That was super surprising.
That's sad to me, actually. The guy who owns the Yankees is the 10th poorest in the league, net worth wise. Like, it's got to be tied up somewhere
I think
else.
the Brewers were in there. Kansas City was in there.
Maybe Cincinnati.
I don't think Cincinnati was. Oh yeah, Cincinnati was in there. Tampa was in there.
Oh, Tampa.
Yeah, but the Yankees, that one, like,
me too.
blew my mind.
I talked about this last night, but quickly, Andrew McCutchen and the Pirates are not coming to terms on anything. What do you think about?
I read the article on that, and it sounds like Pittsburgh know they messed up.
Yes, it does.
They had an opportunity to kind of be up front with them initially, and they chose to do what so many teams do, which is, we're going to just tiptoe around, as opposed to just say, hey, this is probably the last year we're going to do this, and we're going to part ways. Instead, it seems like they kind of maybe let them that maybe we might be able to do something. We're not closing the door on it. And now, feelings is hurt at this point.
Oh, yeah, he's not
happy. And listen, I don't think it would be a bad idea for Padres to take a look. To be in Pittsburgh, if he can DH lefties, have a little
platoon going. I would love, and he's a good clubhouse guy.
And according to him, he can still play the outfield. He just is saying that they won't allow him to play the outfield. So
I like what he said. Like, don't believe what they're trying to paint me as.
Yeah,
which is they're painting me as an old guy, and
right.
I'm not.
Well, he is old.
He's old, but he's
old
not
baseball
playing
standards.
Old.
Right?
Yes, he is.
All right, let's get to break. Big Five coming up. Chris will rejoin us once again here on Gwynn and Chris.
Ben and
Thank you for listening to 97.3 The Fan. Be back shortly. I would be back shortly if the thing will click. See, I'm clicking. I have no idea what's happening. It's not playing any commercials right now. Well, this is just great, everybody. Let me see if I could try to start another one. All right. Well, this is awesome. On the air right now with no help, and there are no commercials to be played. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, everybody? You're getting a real live thing right here. This is real live Matt Scraby. I'm going to have to restart Wide Orbit real quick. So goodbye, Wide Orbit. It's not even closing. I'm going to text Adam, and I'm going to say, Adam, I tried to go to break, and the commercials did not play, and the program won't shut down. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to do some Control-Alt-Delete over here. Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, I got it. Task Manager. It's not coming up. There it goes. Task Manager came up, everybody. I have no idea. I'm way too generous with my stroke giving. Never mind.
Are you really?
Never mind.
Wait.
I did not mean for that to happen. I did not.
That sounds like a promo to me.
Scraby's giving out strokes. I can't wait to hear that one. I'm going to laugh for a while on that one.
Nate says, Scravy, maybe you should date her.
You might be a generous stroke giver, but I don't think she really wants to leave her boyfriend for that.
All right, that was good. In full disclosure, I'm reading this. Tony can't gather himself right now. That was a good one, Chris. That was a really good one. So I saw this at 7-Eleven, and I had to get it. It's called the One Chip Challenge. It was sitting there in the aisle, and I thought, why not? Because I am into spicy stuff. But this thing looks pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. It says a Reaper pepper and a Scorpion pepper. It's also in the shape of a coffin, which doesn't make me very happy about that. It doesn't make me feel good. Oh, extreme heat, it says. I'm going to try a little bit first, just so I don't die, I guess. That's the thing I'm saying. This looks... I don't even know if I should be eating this. It looks like it has mold or something, but let's see how hot it is. Let's go. There's a little bit of spice there. It's going. Oh, man. This is hot. It's not that bad, though. I still have this side to go. It is getting hot. I'm not gonna lie. My mouth is like getting crazy. Now it's kicking in. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish this. Honestly, it's getting serious. I gotta go with the milk. My mouth is dying right now. Yeah, this is not fun, guys. never going to do that again because my mouth is on fire. Thank you for listening to 97.3 The Fan. Be back shortly. I would be back shortly if the thing will click. See, I'm clicking. I have no idea what's happening. It's not playing any commercials right now. Well, this is just great, everybody. Let me see if I could try to start another one. All right. Well, this is awesome. On the air right now with no help, and there are no commercials to be played. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, everybody? You're getting a real live thing right here. This is real live Matt Scraby. I'm going to have to restart Wide Orbit real quick. So goodbye, Wide Orbit. It's not even closing. I'm going to text Adam, and I'm going to say, Adam, I tried to go to break and the commercials did not play, and the program won't shut down. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to do some Control-Alt-Delete over here. Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, I got it. Task Manager. It's not coming up. There it goes. Task Manager came up, everybody. I have no idea. I'm way too generous with my stroke giving. Never mind.
Are you really?
Never mind.
Wait.
I did not mean for that to happen. I did not.
That sounds like a promo to me.
Scraby's giving out strokes. I can't wait to hear that one. I'm gonna laugh for a while on that one.
Nate says, Scravy, maybe you should date her.
You might be a generous stroke giver, but I don't think she really wants to leave her boyfriend for that.
All right, that was good. In full disclosure, I'm reading this. Tony can't gather himself right now. That was a good one, Chris. That was a really good one. So I saw this at 7-Eleven, and I had to get it. It's called the One Chip Challenge. It was sitting there in the aisle, and I thought, why not? Because I am into spicy stuff. But this thing looks pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. It says a Reaper pepper and a Scorpion pepper. It's also in the shape of a coffin, which doesn't make me very happy about that. It doesn't make me feel good. Oh, extreme heat, it says. I'm going to try a little bit first, just so I don't die, I guess. That's the thing I'm saying. This looks... I don't even know if I should be eating this. It looks like it has mold or something, but let's see how hot it is. Let's go. There's a little bit of spice there. It's going. Oh, man. This is hot. It's not that bad, though. I still have this side to go. It is getting hot. I'm not gonna lie. My mouth is like getting crazy. Now it's kicking in. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish this. Honestly, it's getting serious. I gotta go with the milk. My mouth is dying right now.
On the clock, got a big five coming down the pipeline. Chris Ella will join us here shortly. How quick do we gotta get to our?
We gotta wait for traffic.
Okay,
and
Traffic's
then we'll
gonna
talk
come.
about that. We were just talking about this, but we haven't mentioned it once. But this Savannah Guthrie mom story is
Super
sad and crazy and scary. And if you haven't heard, Savannah Guthrie is the Today Show anchor in the morning, and her mom is missing.
And not missing. I mean, they
think it's foul play.
Foul play, like she's been kidnapped. She had two news outlets receive, I think TMZ, and then maybe the local.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the other one, but
Tucson,
TMZ for sure.
Receive kind of what they believe is ransom.
Yes,
letters. It is. We live in a wild, wild world right now.
Yeah, I really hope. Obviously,
I mean,
okay.
she's an elderly woman.
She's in her 80s,
so you know
someone broke into her house.
And she's got a peacemaker. She takes daily medication. I hope that one ends well for sure.
Yeah.
Let's check some traffic and get to our big five for today.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring Water. Turning out to be kind of a busy afternoon here. Collision on South 805 just past the 5 split. It's over the right shoulder. Tow truck is on scene assisting with that. Now further south in the 805 before the 8 got a collision over to the right shoulder. Northbound 805 B447th. Watch out for a ladder in the fast lane. Collision on the Friars Road off-ramp southbound 15 up ahead at the East 8 connector stalled SUV partially in lanes. Also got a collision on the coastline. Northbound 5 past Lucadia. It's in the center divide. And westbound 78, a stall on the Jefferson Street off-ramp. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we have very little time, so let's go right to the first one.
Number 5.
And SDFC started their 2026 with a bang. I don't know if you guys watched it or caught it last night, but they were down 1-0 early in the game, and then they scored 4 unanswered goals to end up beating Pumas 4-1. So there's a bunch of tiebreakers and everything. They still have to play Pumas one more time in Mexico City, but it's looking good for them to move on to the next round, unless they get crushed in the next round. But my question to you, Chris.
It's looking good unless they get crushed in the next round.
Someone would be like, well, Scraven said it was looking good, and they actually were looking good. Chris, my question is this. Do you think,
yes,
with the fanship that we've seen, do you think SDFC could ever get to the level of the Padres in this city?
Ever? Yeah, I could see that. But I mean, it took the Padres 60 years to get here.
Yeah.
So,
and the Chargers.
I don't think it's fair to expect that in the next couple of weeks. But I did see that they won last night, and I was really excited. And 4-1 is quite a dominant victory. I say, why waste our time with an entire year's worth of matches? Let's just go right to the MLS Cup.
I'm okay with that.
Final.
Yeah.
I mean, they just played the MLS Cup, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, it wasn't long ago. So,
Tony,
what a season.
What do you think? You made a good point there that I think got passed over a little bit.
Yes. I think that, the fact that the Chargers left, that also helped, aid in the Padres accelerating to where they are now. But yeah, there's a chance that could happen. I mean, you get a couple, they keep going to MLS finals and MLS, conference finals. They got a chance to build up a pretty big fan base. And they're setting the expectation that is like the norm if they can, continue down the path that they've been on. So, yeah, I think there's certainly one day, there's enough people here in the city of San Diego for there to be,
and in the surrounding areas that love soccer.
Right. Not only that, and there's certainly nothing wrong with loving both your baseball team and your soccer team.
Not at all. No, you can love both.
There's room. You know what? I really want, just to compare them a little bit, Denver's a great sports town, and they support their teams. But when the Colorado Avalanche came there in the mid-'90s, I don't think anybody in Denver knew the Avalanche, knew a hockey puck from a basketball or anything. And the Avalanche came. Now, they won the Stanley Cup their first year, but that's similar in a lot of ways to how successful SDFC was. And the good thing for the Avalanche is they've stayed competitive for now it's 30 years, but they have a huge following now, and they're not the Broncos, but I bet you there's more Avalanche fans than Rocky fans by a mile. Yeah, so it could definitely happen, but I think being successful has a lot to do with it, of course.
Winning cures everything.
Number 4.
Even after showing some promise in his first season in the NFL, the conversation this offseason will be about Shedeur Sanders and whether or not he is a franchise quarterback. Here is ESPN's Tim Hasselbeck talking about it.
No, it's how I felt about him coming out of college. I think that there are things he does at the position extremely well that you need to be able to do well to play in the National Football League. I actually think, that's the good side of it. I think the bad side of it for him, I just think physically there are limitations that he has as a player that don't know that anyone is building around that. Could he end up playing in the league for 10 years, in some role as a backup and then maybe get an opportunity to play? Sure, he could. But I don't think that anybody, listen, there isn't a single team of the 32 that would look at him right now and be like, yep, I want to build around that guy. It's not, I'm not saying that to be demeaning or mean. That is the reality of who he actually is as a player and how he is viewed, quite frankly, consensusly around the league.
All right, that was Tim Hasselbeck with ESPN. Tony, do you think that you?
I just want to be clear. Tim Hasselbeck didn't want to sound mean there.
Do you
pretty
think
mean.
You could? Do you think you could build around Shedeur, Tony?
Yeah, I do. I think you could build around him. I think there's a lot of things that he did really well as he went. He made a ton of mistakes, as we see a lot of rookies do, and he did it really with the least amount of preparation possible going into that position. And so I would at least give him a season to disprove me on that before I would be willing to go as far as Tim Hasselbeck. The thing is, Tim may not be lying. Clearly he got drafted where he got drafted. So a lot of teams felt that he wasn't, good enough to be able to draft earlier. And that's just really what it is. We could say that there's teams that thought he would be here, or the Baltimore Ravens tried to get him, and whatever. It didn't end up working out, and so he went where he went. But I do think in the time that he got out there, he didn't look. He looked like a guy that with some good coaching could turn himself into a pretty good quarterback.
Chris, do you think Shedeur Sanders can be built around?
That caught my eye. Number one, he was tremendously mean, and if Shedeur Sanders does ever make it, they're going to be able to play that clip.
He's not the first guy to ever say this about a quarterback in the NFL.
Agreed.
He's not.
Agreed. And a lot of them prove these people wrong. Right.
That's true.
So
That's true.
We've seen that happen. But the one thing that he said that was interesting to me was that Shedeur has physical limitations, and I'm thinking about this, and what I see in physical, gifts for a quarterback are two things, really. One is an arm. Can you throw the ball 65 yards if you have to? I saw him do that a couple of different times last year when he had to. The second thing is the ability to escape the rush and run and keep plays alive and get downfield and gain some yardage. Pretty sure he can do that too. I don't know that he's Lamar Jackson, but nobody is.
Right.
It's so funny. Everybody compares everybody to Lamar Jackson. Stop comparing to Lamar Jackson. He's the one guy that can do that.
Yeah.
So it tells me that Shedeur's got an arm. He's got the athleticism. Probably needs to be more accurate and make better decisions.
Yeah.
That's every young quarterback. So I can't give up on him this quickly. It's very surprising to me that they're – and you said with some good coaching. Well, we already know he didn't have good coaching last year because he had Kevin Stefanski. So
Stefanski didn't want him to be successful.
I want to be clear. I'm not predicting greatness for him, but I just don't think it's fair to totally, say he can't do it at this point.
I agree.
Crisello saying Shedeur Sanders, first ballot Hall of Fame.
Yeah, right.
There we go.
No, I am. You know what, Chris? I will point out growth for you because I expect you to rip Shedeur apart in this answer because you have not been a fan of him, and that was a very nice answer. You countered Tim Hasselbeck a little bit.
Thank you.
Okay. I thought
Appreciate
there was going to be a little bit more to that.
Yeah, that's all I got. You said we had to hurry.
Okay, the Cowboys want to keep George Pickens in the Pro Bowl wide receiver. He had a great night in the Pro Bowl last night. Wants to remain in Dallas.
Thank goodness.
Yes, the team has a franchise.
He beat all that press man coverage and all of the blitzing and the underneath linebackers. Good job by George.
Joe Burrow and Dak Prescott were slinging it last night.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys do have a franchise tag available to use on the pending free agent, but the question is whether the sides can negotiate a long-term deal. Pickens said he is willing to do anything when asked his thoughts on the franchise tag, but he makes clear that he wants his value increased after his career year last year, where he caught 93 passes for 1,429 yards and 9 touchdowns. So blah, 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 blah.
I would love to know what the tag is for wide receiver.
I was just about to tell you. If you franchise tag him, you pay 1 year, just over $28 million.
How much did he make this year?
Not that. He was still on like a rookie wage scale.
There's your increase right there, baby.
That's a huge increase. That's what you're going to be one of the highest paid players in the league at $28 million position players.
That's the very definition of being a franchise player, but nobody likes being a franchise player because it doesn't give them any.
That's true.
Ability to.
It just gives them 1 year, no security.
It is the franchise tag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Chris, would you, if you're the Cowboys and Jared Jones, would you rather do a franchise tag or a long-term extension with Mr. Pickens?
I don't know that I want to put anything into Pickens. And here's my thinking. Number one, I think he's a tremendously talented receiver. And wherever he goes, I think he can be successful. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is there a team in the National Football League that can have two receivers that are basically
number ones?
Number ones, right? And in their minds, they're number one.
Bengals.
Like, I've always believed that the best receiving tandems are the one where the number two guy is a number one, but he doesn't think of himself as a number one. John Taylor, John Stallworth, Fred Biletnikoff. I'm going back too far, but that's how my mind works.
Fred.
Yeah, old Fred Bellet. He's in the Hall of Fame, Tony. But he was a number two guy for those Raider teams, but he didn't need to be the number one. And Stallworth was the same with Lynn Swann on the other side for Pittsburgh. So I don't think Pickens and CeeDee Lamb is a good combination, and I think the Cowboys have so many other, egregious deficiencies that I would actually look elsewhere. But that, if you want to keep Pickens, I think, maybe the franchise tag is best because then you're not committed for too much longer.
Tony, would you rather franchise tag Mr. Pickens or long-term extension if you're Jared Jones?
I mean, what's long-term? 3 years?
I would say 4 years.
4 years?
3-4 years.
I don't know, man. It depends on what his market value is. I mean, what do you say, 28?
28 is just over 28.
That's
is the franchise tag, which is like the top salaries at the wide receiver position averaged out.
Right. So it may be cheaper if his value isn't there. And maybe it is. Basically, the year he had does kind of put him into that category. So I don't know. Chris is right in terms of Dallas having more holes to fill versus having two number one wideouts. However, you do have the quarterback there for, you just re-signed him. Maybe you hang your hat on the offensive side. And maybe you try to go out and draft yourself. So, because listen, at some point you got to have a discount somewhere. And those are usually come via draft picks, young players. So at this point, if you're going to re-sign him, you probably should sign him to a multi-year deal and bank on your scouting department to find themselves another Michael Parsons and some defensive help. Because otherwise, you got to let him. I think you let him walk, and you start to address those things, whether it be free. Now you have the option to address it via free agency or draft.
Here's where he ranks among other wide receivers on an AAV. If you put the $28 million franchise tag, it would be T. Higgins, Jalen Waddle, $28.25 million. Tyreek Hill is 30. Brandon Ayuk is 30. So he's in those guys. And I think that's the spot for him.
That's
I think
fair.
that's the spot.
So, yeah, maybe
Brandon Ayuk is in those guys. Does he even play?
No, he doesn't. He's making $30 million. So.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Yeah, it's very nice.
He was making $30 million, right?
Yeah, I think he still makes that, but he doesn't get his guaranteed money. I would need to read into it a little bit more, but it is crazy that it is crazy that Jalen Waddle's paid $28 million. That is nuts.
Yeah, he's so not worth that.
I knew that would get Chris.
He is
number 2.
All right. Prior to Jimmy Butler's season-ending injury, Golden State won 11 of its previous 15 games in easily the best stretch of what had been a pretty mediocre season. But Jimmy Butler suffered that season-ending knee injury, which really cast doubts on the Warriors' near future. And Steph Curry, in an interview with the Ringer's Howard Beck, explained how the impact of Butler's injury has weighed on him and his future. He said, quote, "I don't think I've stopped thinking about it since he got hurt. just the human nature part of it comes in, where you feel like things change drastically. Me and Coach Kerr and Draymond talk about it a good amount, the way our contracts are aligned, the fact that last year we had such a clear identity and we were so close to getting over the hump, end quote. Steph Curry is going to be a free agent after this season. So, Tony.
Yes.
Do you think he just retires?
No.
He seems like a guy who would play with one team his entire career.
He is going to be a guy who plays with one team. For
Okay.
I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't. I can't see him packing up and going someplace else.
Like Minnesota or something?
Anywhere. I look at him as the one team type of guy.
Me
He's
too.
gonna be, so I mean, I would be very, very surprised if he ends up going someplace else. I really would. Chris,
do you think he retires?
I don't think he retires. I think he stays and plays another year or so with the Warriors. I think Steph Curry's very cognizant of what his legacy would look like if he chased another championship. I don't think he wants to do that. He's seen, all of the criticism levied against the guys that do that. Now, Jordan did finish with another team, certainly didn't chase a championship. He went to Washington, and I don't even know if they made the playoffs maybe once. But I don't think Steph wants to continue elsewhere. I think the guy that may continue elsewhere, though, guys, is Draymond Green. They keep talking about the potential of him being traded. He seems to almost be resigned to it now.
It's almost like he's fought it the last couple of years every time it's come up.
He's
and
like
been
giving up.
irritated.
Yeah, he's like, just
white
play,
flag.
just trade me. Yeah. And I did see somebody bring up, but I don't think this was a compliment, Tony, but somebody said Draymond would be perfect on the Lakers because nobody misses more open shots than the Lakers, and that would give Draymond a chance to get a lot of rebounds. So I don't know. I don't think there was a compliment in there. But,
I think I think the quote was from Stephen A. Smith. He was talking about.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
he was talking about Draymond being such a great facilitator, but the Lakers are the team that misses the most threes in all of the NBA. So it wouldn't really work for his skill set.
The compliment is
he would
is that
facilitate.
they're working. Never mind. All right, let's get to the last one.
Number one.
Completely self-serving topic here. Completely.
That's
the top 10 jerseys in the NFL were released. The purchased jerseys were released. Who do you think was number one?
Well, gee, the way you asked the question, it's got to be Tua.
It's not a 49er. It's Jalen Waddle.
Who was the number one jersey?
It's not a 49er.
It's not a 49er, but I'll tell you about the 49er spin in a second.
Number one in the NFL. How about
Josh Allen?
Drake May?
Ding, ding. Josh Allen. Oh, you guys
Josh
both
Allen.
1-2.
Hey, very good, Tony. Go to the Drake May was 2?
Yeah, so it's Josh Allen, Drake May,
Lamar.
Okay,
Fred
so
Warner.
we went 1-2.
So there's a Niner.
Guys, there's 4 Niners on this list out of the top 10.
okay.
Fred Warner, number 3.
Well, you people have you. Yeah,
Jackson
well, that's the
Smith.
what
Jackson.
What do they call it?
The list. 4 is Jackson Smith and Jigba. 5, Saquon Barkley. 6, Caleb Williams. 7, C.D. Lamb. 8, CMC, Christian McCaffrey. 9, George Kittle. And 10, Brock Purdy. So my question to who is up first? Tony's up first.
Yeah.
Do you agree with this list? No, I'm just kidding. Why would 4 49ers be in the top 10? I'm not even sure.
I think because 49er fans are psychopaths, and they've probably been buying 2 of everything.
It's really unfair that we compare every 49er fan on earth to Scraby. It really is.
It's a
There's got
disservice
to be
to me.
a few of them that are reasonable out there.
It's a disservice to me because I am a reasonable fan.
You are the furthest thing from a reasonable fan.
Bang, bang, Niner guy.
I mean, it's surprising though, right? 4 49ers in the top 10 sold jerseys. That's surprising.
Well,
I'm
they
not even gonna
barely
participate
made
on
it.
this question at
Darn.
all. This is stupid. This is a stupid
They
question.
barely made it, man. They were 8, 9, and 10, Scrabe. But if you want to hear the answer that you want to hear, I think it's time to just officially say that the 49ers are America's team, and that's the one everyone seems to love now. There you go.
Thank
That's
you.
what you want.
I ain't saying that. but
So you can have that.
Tear to my ear. Tear to my ear. You don't have tears to your ears. You have tears
Yeah,
to
we
your
really,
eyes.
I've not taken enough time in the past to apologize to any 49er fan out there that is semi-reasonable? Because I'm sure there are many of you.
All of us.
We just
I
deal
haven't
with
met
the one
too
that's
many,
not.
I must say.
All right, that's it for the Big Five. We're going to move on. We're going to get to 5 p.m. We're going to recap. And Tony and I will be back on 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, it's Ben and Woods, and we're not just a radio show. We call our listeners Tier 1s, and we're a community of mostly like-minded San Diegans.
Indeed. Live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. 5:02 on the clock. Tony Gwynn Jr., Matthew Scraby just finishing up a nice big 5 happy hour brought to you by GL Pools, the company trusted by thousands of San Diegans to keep their pools sparkling, swim ready, and expertly maintained. Call GL Pools now and say radio for a free month of service. Looks like there's some clarity, Scraby, in the Padre world of ownership.
Yes, it was very surprising to wake up to this today.
Woke up to the news today that Shield Seidler has dropped at least most of the
lawsuit. Like the claims
there's
in the lawsuit.
2 claims still in the lawsuit that remain, but
which are the trustees have failed to allocate the trust, and she has not received all the income she is due. She's leaving that.
That's still there. But it sounds like the parts of the lawsuit that are dismissed were the parts that were holding up sale.
Yes.
Because I don't think it's coincidence that in that same day, all of a sudden we start to find out that we have like multiple suitors. One we knew about in Lake Up, but the two more have become we become aware of the 2
They've
other.
entered the chat.
Yes. Do you have names for those?
Yes, Jose Feliciano and Dan Friedkin. Now, Dan Friedkin, Chris told us earlier,
San Diegan,
and Chris apparently knows him somehow.
Yes.
So
yes,
we're gonna need to get Chris to brush up on that relationship.
Hey man, find out.
Yeah, I think
the point is this is good news for
yes.
I mean, it seems like it's good news for Padre fans.
I got a lot of questions earlier today, like, what does this mean? Does this mean that they're not going to spend money this year? It has nothing to do with the baseball team, I don't think.
Yeah, I think in terms of spending money, maybe this frees them up a little bit. But if you're trying to sell, I don't know that you're looking to add payroll necessarily in that time. It also kind of makes it feel like a sale where in my mind was like what end of year would be like maybe mid-year at the earliest.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't going to happen in 2026.
It now feels like this thing could be sped up a little bit, which makes sense because I think I said from the very beginning that ideally you like to get this done ASAP, but typically these things, especially with the lawsuit looming, these things can take time.
Yeah,
they've kind of moved through. It seems like the heavier parts.
We should also mention that the according to Kevin Acey, the suitor that is leading the clubhouse is Joe Lakeup with the Warriors.
Now
owner.
That's also been in that same article. He says that Lakeup is the leader, but in like the next sentence it says
that's also identified these guys too.
Right.
Jose Feliciano.
It is not also it also been denied by people close to the whole thing that Lakeup is the leader. Sounds like they want to keep this bad boy open.
Of course, they don't want to name a leader.
How high can this go? It was said to be what? Worth 2.5?
Forbes valued him at 1.95, but yes, 2.5 based on recent sales of other teams. Other teams are getting 5.5 times their annual revenue.
Yeah.
So it would be 2.5 billion.
And I think it was brought up when we talked about it to open show. I think the thing that we will be kind of really paying attention to, this is I'm sure all of the owners will be paying attention to the fact that there is a looming lockout and kind of some question marks beyond the 2026 season.
You don't want to take over a team and then immediately lose money.
Right. Will that affect sale?
Doesn't seem like it.
It doesn't seem like it.
I mean,
the fact that there's 3 suitors to begin with, I mean, we were talking about billions of dollars. Like, there's not going to be a whole lot of people like, hey, I'm interested in buying that.
Well, it's funny because I put this out on Twitter earlier today, and there were some people that like, oh, he doesnesn't have big enough pockets.
I heard that. I heard that. I heard that from you.
Yeah,
I was like floating around.
No. That's what people are. He doesn't have big enough pockets. We need more guys. I would much rather have Joe Lakeup and company than Capital Group, enterprises.
You think you want that? You don't actually know what that actually entails.
I know who's running, or I know who owns the team. Capital Business Enterprises.
That's a
made-up business, by the way.
I mean, Mr. Nutting owns the Pirates. I mean, what does that mean?
Or I guess he's the control person.
I mean, but just because you know who the owner is does not guarantee.
What I'm saying is I don't want investment groups because then the team gets lost in a bunch of other investments.
I mean, isn't that virtually what Mark Walters is? I mean, it's his name, but it's kind of like a investment. He has like an investment group, basically.
You make a good point. I guess I should
Here's the thing.
Make it more clear. I don't want investment groups that are just buying up sports properties across the world.
They're not really into it. Like, it's clear that Mark Walters is into whatever it is.
That's fine with me. Okay. I want a guy who comes here and says, or guy or gal comes here and says, I want this team to win.
Here's the thing that I brought up earlier that I think it's you have to be careful, right? Because Lacob comes from the NBA.
Yes.
They have, it may not be a hard cap, but there are rules and regulations, how much you can spend. Every team is under that. Baseball doesn't have that.
No. And
it really tests your pockets in baseball. And unless something changes after, and listen, maybe this is this owners, whoever the ownership they get in, and maybe they're the ones that are like, yeah, we want a cap too. We're going to push.
That's
maybe.
Interesting.
But if it's not, let's say all things stay the same. It's not the same as a football or basketball where you kind of know where the salaries are going to be year in, year out. You don't know that in baseball. And I think that can change how you feel about spending.
Yeah.
So,
I can imagine that. I never even thought about that. I can imagine that being a really weird learning process.
Now, granted, ownership, I mean, is that salaries are just like one piece of the pie that you're spending. There's other things too, but outside of the salary, this place seems like it's doing pretty well. I would assume.
Yeah. I mean, there's a party 81 times a year downtown, and the fans help make this happen too. I mean, people have to show
up. If I'm
up.
not mistaken, in one of the past articles, there was talk of there being some debt, right? Because the Padres had to take out a loan. We don't know where that sits.
Yeah.
Any of that, but
by the way,
I do think that it's something that people need to keep front of mind. Like, baseball is, in terms of how you are going to pay guys right now, is different than both basketball and football. Lacob's coming from basketball.
He's coming from basketball. I mean, I trust the guy. The other guy I would, and he's not even mentioned.
Listen, I would be honest. I don't trust any of them because I don't know any of them.
The reason I trust him is because my friend is a massive Warriors guy. He's involved with the team, and he likes Joe Lacob. Says he's a good dude.
What about all your Warrior haters on Twitter?
Oh, well, one guy said it's paraphrasing. He let the Warriors get to this point. We don't want them. I'm like, they won 4 titles. Sometimes you have to spend money to keep guys in place, but 4 titles in 6.
I mean, he also had like Steph Curry.
He's Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. I mean, there's just amazing guys on the team.
And he's going to do that. They're great. I think that's great.
I'm going to talk a lot about this in the Scraby show because I think people are scared. Cole says, I can't wait for this all to be over.
I think it's reasonable to have some type of fear
because
of the unknown.
Yeah.
You don't know. You know, you're making the point that you like that you know the name and that there's been some success, but you know, people get funny when it comes to money.
I get it. The guy I thought would maybe put a bid in on this would be Stan Kroenke because he owns a bunch of sports teams.
Where is Mark Cuban at?
Mark Cuban doesn't seem like a baseball guy to me.
I think Mark Cuban is just...
He loves his NBA.
He does.
And I don't know if he wants to be in sports anymore, but it just tells me that people do not care that this lockout might happen.
Be a little too stuffy for Mark.
I could see that. I could totally see that. Him and Dick Monfort together, that would be bad.
I don't know if that would. I would love to be at that coffee.
Oh,
meeting.
Me too. Like, what are they talking about? Dick's like, hey, I don't really care to have people in the stadium, and Mark Cuban just like, what? You got to pack the stadium.
Can't fathom it. All right, let's get to break.
Apparently, Kroenke's only interested in buying the Cubs.
Oh, I'm sure Cubs fans would love that because they're not very happy with their owner right now.
No, but yeah, I guess you're right. They did get rid of.
They did get Bregman, so I guess that fills the gap a little bit. But
I'm tired of fans complaining when they have good stuff. I'm so tired of fans complaining when they have good stuff.
Oh, that's a good point. What we got next? I just can't. God, it was right at the tip of my tongue.
Oh, we are going to be talking about the Washington Post.
Sad
Very
deal.
sad. Very
Washington
sad.
Post is shutting down the sports section and the sports department, and it's not a good look, I must say. We were on to something because we knew they weren't sending out reporters to spring training.
Yep.
They basically got shamed into sending reporters.
Are they still going?
They might not be now.
I don't know.
I know they weren't going, and they changed their mind that they're going to send some.
Yeah.
Now that this news is up, maybe they don't go.
But I can't see how they go. There's nowhere to publish it.
Either way, it's a sad story for sure. We'll get into it on the other side. More Gwynn and Chris.
From the 855.
And what is before they try, what is the heat index they're facing? Do we know? Or
Well, you could look up the Scoville on a ghost pepper.
Yeah.
It's one of the world's hottest. There's a couple of hotters.
Scoville's the measurement unit.
The X pepper and all of that.
Thanks for the education, because I did not know.
I've allowed milk and bread, but if I was asked,
tell
I'd
us
have
tell
said
us the
no.
actual rules of this. Like
The rule
Let's
is
see if you can do it, I guess.
you guys alternate spoonfuls until one of you can't.
One of you can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Until you can't do it anymore.
Fulls. I will take
And
one.
the winner,
spoonful of
Scrady,
this.
has a jar of
it is.
a couple of my jars.
I think they
products
both are winners if they pass
for
this. I
the
hate
winners.
to say, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
There will be no back and forth. There will be one spoonful.
Now,
This is the one that he has right now.
The 38?
Maybe.
Okay. All right.
No,
Maybe.
this right here, I've been putting on some of my turkey burgers.
Good stuff.
This is hot.
Okay.
Right, and we do
All
it.
right,
Here we go.
All right. Let's
Adam's
do it.
ready.
This is a
There,
full
away he goes.
spoonful
God, he
of
does
the-
have a full spoonful for those listening.
This is
I'm literally sweating watching him
That's
do
a
this
full
right
spoon?
now. That's a full spoon.
All
For
right.
sure.
That is a full
down the
spoon.
hatch we go.
All
All right.
right.
And man, he went the whole thing. He did not. He did not trickle that down the throat. He
He
just.
hasn't reached for the milk yet.
Scraby's coming over.
When does the heat kick in?
Oh,
I knew it.
When does the heat kick in? Wow.
You better go, dude.
There goes Scraby.
They both
Scraby,
did.
did you swallow that, Scraby? Yeah.
That is some good stuff.
It's delicious.
delicious.
We're gonna see it.
Tasty.
I'm gonna watch you now.
I'm feeling it already. I am, are you?
No.
He's
Adam's
feeling good.
feeling nothing. All right, so take another spoonful, Adam. You'll win.
Oh, come on. Now we're double dipping.
Yeah,
he's on
you
one
can't put your
spoonful.
same
That's
spoon
not
in
what
there.
the
What the competition's all about.
We always said
Spoonful
that.
two.
Yeah, go for
Oh
it.
yeah.
I always said that Adam Klug was kind of had a.
I at least used a different spoon. No double dipping.
All right.
I didn't know where I don't
I
think
always
it
thought
matters.
Adam Klug had a cold persona, but evidently it's just the opposite.
All right.
Big
He
boss
is
Michael
handling
Valenzuela
it.
in the
Wait,
YouTube
now,
chat,
dog.
by the way.
What you waiting on? You let laughing at drip in your hand. Oh, okay.
Scraby, where are you? Let me see.
Okay.
I'm just looking at Adam, and Adam's not having any problem at all.
Look at you, Adam.
Adam is backed up.
College
But
boy.
this
I must
so-
tell you,
wait,
Tony,
no, no.
that Adam has cashed the check.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did.
cashed
You said
his
I wouldn't
check.
be able to catch
I
you.
did.
No, you
I
cashed
sure
it,
did.
man.
You
You
proved
cashed
me
it
wrong,
for
my
sure.
friend. I
Scraby,
gotta tell you though, this is further proof that whatever we got him with that
the
tie,
tie thing,
was
yeah, because
super weak.
this is less than a 10,
he's
right?
He's over here having a difficult time.
You're turning a little
No,
red,
The time
Scraby.
was just as bad.
You're turning a
This
little
hit me
red.
By the way,
faster.
this is delicious.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
he's
He's
going
taking
for
another
it.
one.
Yes.
Come on, Adam. Wow, you're gonna have to come back in 6 months with like an 88.
Oh.
38.
We'll have to go with the higher Scoville next time.
All right. Oh, wow. Look at this guy. He's talking
Drop.
trash now.
Well, he
I
should
haven't had a
be.
sip of milk or bread.
He hasn't even reached for it.
No, he doesn't
came out
even
of the
need the
gates
bread.
talking trash.
All right.
All right. Now
Hey,
I'm
man.
going to take another one.
What?
Well,
Why
you
are
got you got a
doing
whole
this
other
to
spoon.
yourself?
No, because I don't want.
You
Adam
want
to-
Adam to say
He,
he
by
has
the way,
wing sauce,
yeah, he
baby.
get the whole
Full spoon,
get the same
baby.
thing that like he's dropping it all in there.
Keep the studio clean.
It's all anybody's
Big
worried
boss
about.
Michael watching over here. Come on.
Ooh, boy, Scrabe, get back in front of the camera. Your face is red, Scrabe, isn't it, Tony? Are you
I'm
seeing
sweating.
the same thing?
You are sweating. Your face is definitely.
Why do you keep doing this?
You're not feeling anything?
Adam hasn't even
Anything?
moved over
I
there.
feel a 1 or maybe a 2 out of 10 here.
Wow.
Adam
That's ridiculous
Klug-
because I'm.
Wow.
Adam Klug is a tough
Jamie's
son
now
of a
bent
gun.
over the trash can.
No,
over
I had
there.
to spit.
I was going to say it looks like Adam Klug may be producing the rest of the show because he's fine. Scraby may need
Scraby's
to
going
go
to
get
bed. Yeah,
assistance.
Here's want the milk, dude. It might
Frank
work
predicted
better.
that.
No.
Oh, did he?
Frank
Maybe he's having
predicted that.
bread.
Oh yeah, that Adam would just cruise through this with
Frank
no problem.
predicted this.
He did.
Frank on the last show.
I
Yeah,
know
said
you
Adam
had
would
it
have
like
no
that.
He did.
I got a newfound respect from Tony Gwynn Jr. Yes, here. you do.
So-
all right.
So Scraby has the prizes for you, Adam. You have one, a jar of the ghost.
You can
pepper
have as much of this
salsa.
as you want at all
And
times.
the,
Yeah.
Mr. Lane's Roasty 38 chili powder.
You should let me have that chili powder though. I think I do. I think I would do more damage.
Started
with
off
this.
giving me the mild. My
And what is before they try, what is the heat index they're facing? Do we know? Or
Well, you could look up the Scoville on a ghost pepper.
yeah.
It's one of the
up there.
world's hottest. There's a couple of hotters.
Scoville's the
Reaper
measurement
and
unit.
the
Okay.
X pepper and all of that.
Thanks for the education because I did not know. It was
I've
Scoville.
allowed
Yeah.
milk and bread, but if I was
So
asked,
tell
I would
us
have
tell
said
us the
no.
actual rules of this. Like
The rule
Want to see if
is
you can do it. I guess
you guys alternate spoonfuls until one of you can't.
that's
One
not
of you can't
happening.
do it anymore.
Yeah,
That's not happening.
until you can't do it anymore.
Fools.
I will take
And
one.
the winner,
spoonful of
Scrady,
this.
has a jar
Yes,
of
it is.
a couple of my jars.
I think they
products.
both are winners if they
Hold on
pass
one
this.
second.
I hate to
Winners.
say, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
There will be no back and forth. There will be one spoonful.
Now, I am
This is the one that he has right now.
The 38,
Maybe.
Okay. All right.
no,
maybe.
this right here. I've been putting on some of my turkey burgers.
Good stuff.
This is hot.
Okay.
All right, are we doing
All
it?
right, here we go.
All right, let's
Adam's
do it.
ready.
This is a
There,
full
away he goes.
spoonful
He
of
does
the-
have a full spoonful
He
for
does.
those listening.
Wait,
on
this
that.
is
I'm literally sweating watching him
That's
do
a
this
full
right now.
spoon?
That's a full spoon. For
All right.
sure.
That is a full
down the
spoon.
hatch we go.
All
All right.
right.
And man, he went the whole thing. He did not.
My
He did
turn?
not trickle that down the throat. He
He
just.
hasn't reached for the milk yet.
Scraby's coming over.
When does the heat kick in?
Oh,
I knew it.
When does the heat kick in? Wow.
You better go, dude.
There goes Scraby.
They
Scraby,
both did.
did you swallow that, Scraby? Yeah.
That is some good stuff.
It's delicious.
delicious.
We're gonna see
Tasty.
it. I'm gonna watch you now.
I'm feeling it already. I am. Are you?
No.
He's
Adam's
feeling good.
feeling nothing. All right, so take another spoonful, Adam. You'll win.
Oh, come on. Now we're double dipping.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
all
you
one
can't put your
spoonful.
same
That's
spoon
not
in
what
there.
the
The competition's all about.
We always said
spoonful
that.
too.
Yeah, go for
Oh
it.
yeah.
I always said that Adam Klug was kind of had a.
I at least use a different spoon. No double dipping.
All right.
That's
I
it.
didn't know where. I don't.
I
Think
always
it
thought
matters.
Adam Klug had a cold persona, but evidently it's just the opposite.
All right.
Big
He
boss
is
Michael
handling
Valenzuela
it.
in the
Wait,
YouTube
now,
chat,
dog.
by the way.
What you waiting on? You let laughing at drip in your hand. Oh, okay.
Scraby, where are you? Let me see.
Okay.
I'm just looking at Adam, and Adam's not having any problem at all.
Look at you, Adam.
Adam is backed up.
College
But
boy.
this.
I must tell you, Tony,
hold on.
that Adam has cashed the check.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he
he
did.
cashed
You said I
his
wouldn't
check.
be able to catch
I
you.
did.
No, you
I
cashed
sure
it,
did.
man.
You proved
cashed
me
it
wrong,
for
my
sure.
friend. I
Scraby,
gotta tell you though, this is further proof that whatever we got him with that
the
tie,
tie thing,
was
yeah, 'cause
super weak.
of the younger people would say, well, who are these people? But I trust me when I tell you that legends have written sports for the Washington Post and still have. So this was a big deal in that regard. I don't want to get into the part of the story because that's for another shows to talk about, but they've wiped out a lot of the paper entirely.
Yeah.
The foreign correspondence.
This is part of a wider thing
It's
of
a
layoffs,
big,
right?
exactly. It's a wider thing, and the paper is owned by Jeff Bezos, and so now the whole politics side of it is there, and I'll let other people, figure all that out. What I wanted to talk about, though, is just how much this hurts. And even though I know I can't do anything about it, Tony, because the horses are out of the barn per se, we are never going back to a day where, not the newspaper itself, But the business, I think, of journalism and hard hitting and going in there and really digging into stories, that is just harder and harder to find. And to me, that's what the Washington Post represented. And that's why I find a little pain to this story today.
Yeah, no, this is I don't think it's ever I don't think it's ever a good thing when one of your, once I think would say most prominent kind of news outlets, as you said, that was known for, kind of getting to the bottom of different things, is being, kind of changed, and in this case, shut down in terms of the sports side. It's I don't know that you can find any positivity in that.
There's a lot of people that are saying, well, look, the New York Times basically just got rid of its sports section and brought in the Athletic to basically be their sports section. So this is a sign of the times. I get it. I'm the only guy you guys laugh at me. I'm the only guy that actually gets a paper delivered in the morning.
Well, the news doesn't make it to you unless you read it in the paper.
A lot of times that's true. But so I understand all that's being phased out. But now more than ever in our, the world in which we live in, we need journalism to be, the watchdog that keeps people on the straight and narrow and on the up and up. And again, I don't want to tail off into another subject, but I think everybody knows what I mean here. And in sports, like the Washington Post was the one that uncovered everything with Daniel Snyder. He would still be the owner of the Washington Commanders today if it wasn't for the kind of reporting that was done. And we need that in our society. And even though we don't have the Washington Post anymore, the sports section, I hope we don't forget about how important journalism really needs to be.
I got to say this, and I said this to Scraby the other day, and I might have said it off the air. That exact reasoning that you just gave is why I'm starting to look at Pablo Torre a little bit different.
Maybe Tony, you might be right.
Than I think I was initially. I think I was, just it was just different to see kind of how the whole Bill Belichick thing went down. But honestly, since that particular one, I mean, he's been pretty spot on a lot of these things. And, I heard him actually talking about this exact subject and why he kind of, I think he may not use this word, but kind of bristles at some of the commentary that we have in sports, because it's not as kind of investigative, kind of, it's kind of looked like as a nuisance now almost when you have journalists that are going about that way. So, those same things you just kind of went over are the reasons why I've kind of like taken a step back and kind of took another look at the likes of like a Pablo Torre, because I think he's doing some really good work.
I think you hit it right there. Pablo Torre is now part of our new news culture. Like, it's independent journalism now, because I don't listen to anything from the mainstream media. I listen to things that are made by, independent journalists. I listen to people that are on the ground, know what they're talking about. And that's what that's what's going to happen. These people are going to have to sprout up from wherever they are and do it independently. And that's the trend of this. Pablo Torre is doing this because he's
Remember, he was a part of the machine.
No,
and now he is no longer.
Oh, yes, he was with ESPN.
When he was with ESPN, now he's independent, and he couldn't have done really any of the things that he has done. Probably.
Yeah, all the conflict of interest with ESPN.
Exactly.
Like, no, you can't do this because they pay us a lot of money, so you can't say this type of thing. And I think the independent journalist is better. Sorry.
Yeah.
You guys are doing a nice job of summing this up. I totally agree with almost everything you're saying. I think the bottom line here is that, freedom of the press is the first article of the Constitution, right? It's right there at the top. And it's there for that reason. We need to, hold others, be able to hold people accountable, be able to, inform, and be able to inform, hopefully, without, as you said, Scraby, an agenda. And, maybe we can't always believe ESPN. Maybe we can't always believe CNN. Maybe we can't believe, Fox. I'll put everybody in the same package here, but we need journalism to be good. And to me, Washington Post sports represented good journalism.
Facts.
And so now it dies. And so a piece of that dies today.
What's ironic is that on the top of the Washington Post website, and they're probably going to remove this soon, it says Washington Post, democracy dies in darkness. That's very ironic.
As they're shutting the lights off in the sports department.
They have that on the top of their website.
Yes, and just to make more of an ironic point, there's nobody in the Washington Post sports section today to cover the acquisition of Anthony Davis and the big trade.
Good point.
Yes, made in the NBA today. AD goes to the Wizards. The Mavericks get back, I don't know, a bag of basketballs, Tony, is the best I can describe it.
A bag of basketballs.
Yeah, and they may not even all be inflated basketballs. This ends now officially, and I'll be the first to say that I didn't think it was this bad of a trade at the time. I tried to stick up for Nico Harrison in Dallas as best I could and try to see what his vision was. But now, Luka Doncic being a Laker for the next how many years, and the Dallas Mavericks having a 34-year-old Chris Middleton and 3 draft choices to show for it, this actually is now officially maybe the worst trade in the history of the NBA, and you're going to have to even go some to find one worse in any sport. I just think that this is so bad now, Tony, for Dallas. I'm sorry.
I don't disagree, but I caution you have to put the words down for now, because if these 3 picks end up being legit and the next couple classes are being this class right here is being touted. I sent you guys that clip the other day with Jamal Mashburn and then Jalen Rose and Chris Webber all having this discussion about how they don't believe that this top of the class is like the best ever as it's being framed. So I say that because these 3 picks could turn into something we see in OKC look like with their draft picks.
James Harden.
And you already have Cooper Flagg that's already in the building. So for now, it looks discussed. It looks like the worst trade in the history of sports because Luka Doncic is over on the Lakers. You don't even have the main asset that you got back in that trade. You have now traded him, but you got 3 picks. So in the game of basketball, especially the way it's being run now, it's a wait and see in terms of what that looks like. But I will say this. Washington, although it's definitely too late for this year as they only have 13 wins. Next year, they're setting themselves up nicely. They got AD for another year. They got Trae Young, young Trae Young. They got a big, they got a small. I think they got D'Angelo Russell in this deal. I'm not sure how they make these pieces work, but the Wizards, who were nowhere, have at least 2 legitimate pieces that you can work with.
Yeah, and what band of doctors and surgeons is going to keep Anthony Davis and Trae Young in one piece for an entire season?
It's temporary. I know he's got hurt since he's been a Maverick, but I watched him as a Laker. He missed some time, but he was on the floor, and when he's on the floor, man, he could be a difference maker.
He's a great player. He is a great player, but I was just trying to think of other horrendous trades. I know that, again, I would go to some old baseball trades. John Smoltz coming to the Braves for Doyle Alexander.
Even though Doyle Alexander, Kwame Brown was up
that
there.
Was another Lakers steal up there.
That led to a lot of suspicion that people thought the league was in on everything.
Oh, right. Yeah, it was so bad. And baseball's had a few in the history books, but the Cubs fans will never live down a pitcher named Ernie Broglio that they had acquired from the Cardinals, and the Cardinals got Lou Brock, who went on to be a superstar. That one's an old one, but normally when you trade a superstar, at least the other superstar goes back and gives you something. But in this case, Dallas ended up getting nothing. And, the Lakers, to have Luka Doncic for how many years are you going to get to have him, Tony's like 10 more years.
Oh, yeah. And then we're about to max him out as soon as we can. We're about to max him out, Laker for the rest of his career.
That's wild. It is wild.
Yeah.
Now it's on the
See, we
Mavericks
needed
to draft another Luka Doncic with all these picks that they got.
They've
Well,
done it
that's a good point,
They've done
Scraby.
it before.
If they,
I mind you, can I just say, if I'm not mistaken, the Hawks drafted. Was it the Hawks? Didn't the Hawks trade Trae Young and Luka Doncic for each other on
yes,
draft night?
that's right. That's a good connection.
Where's that GM?
You're right. The
getting
Hawks
crushed?
drafted Doncic. The Mavericks drafted Trae Young.
Wow.
Yeah. But that it all comes almost full circle
Yeah,
on
it
this
really
mess.
does. That is crazy. You
Yeah.
blew my mind.
There's
Tony.
one team that came out smelling like a rose. Tony's team.
Yeah.
The Lakers.
Always.
All right, we'll take a break. Come back. More Gwynn and Chris. Lots to still get done. Thanks for being with us on this Wednesday.
Hey, it's Ben and Woods. We love San Diego, and this is
5:39 here in the happy hour. Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Scraby, Chris Ello gone for the night. Biggest fan. Listen up, Isaac Garcia. Isaac Garcia of Ramona. Give us a call within the next 10 minutes. 833-288-0973. You'll qualify for our grand prize, 20 tickets for you and your friend for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a Padres game with all of the fan staff later this season. Catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. Remember to register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan. Denver is the game on ESPN tonight. Denver Nuggets Knicks. Currently Nuggets up by 2 in the third. Still less than 24 hours before the NBA trade deadline ends. At this point, seems like Ja Morant and Giannis Antetokounmpo are the two biggest names that at least have been rumored to be moved. Could still be moved.
I mean, Giannis, he's got to be moved, right?
I mean, I listened to Brian Weinhorst today, and he was saying that there isn't a whole lot of momentum for it right now.
I mean, it's probably hard to acquire him.
I would imagine, because the thing about the NBA, especially with these aprons, like you pretty much have to like match
contracts,
salaries,
yes.
or there has to have been space in there to fit the salary. And so there ain't too many dudes making what Giannis is making, you know, to be able to match it up.
No, that would be very difficult.
Not to mention, Giannis, the whole point of Giannis is leaving is he wants to go to a contender. What are you giving up to the team, to the Brewers, to the Bucks, in order to give you? I mean, your team is going to have to be, unless you got like a boatload of picks.
And you're in the top, well, you don't know if you're in the top 5 of the picks because of the lottery.
You clearly will. If you have a bunch of picks, you've clearly
put yourself there.
You've acquired them from other teams, so there's still that chance. If your team is contending, that pick isn't going to be high. What do you have on your roster that can match up with Giannis in terms of not only talent but salary? There just aren't a lot. Like a lot of teams that have those two combos.
Yeah, the Bucks need to get better from this, and it might be hard to find that.
Yeah, that's not the case with Ja Morant. Like, I think Memphis can go for the best suitor possible in that one.
It's in that case, it's who wants him.
Well, yeah, who wants him, and what do you have that you can give us that?
You're going to have to unload something so that we take your problem off of your hands.
No, not the other team, Memphis. Whoever is going to acquire Ja Morant is acquiring because they want him.
Oh well, yeah, but they're dealing with the off the court stuff.
I don't think they're going to get a discount.
You don't think there's no discount for that? Even though they're openly complaining about him.
They're not openly complaining about it. He is kind of complaining about himself or about the situation he's in. And last time I checked, he actually seemed like he was good staying there, but they may move because they're trying to rebuild. They got rid of Jaren Jackson Jr. Yesterday. All right,
they did.
We got to get to our interview of the day. Mark Ziegler joined us earlier to talk a little Aztec basketball. Get a chance to hear it right after traffic.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Just a few things to mention here. Pickup truck on fire, eastbound 52, just past the summit. It's over to the right shoulder. Also, collision on westbound 8 before Mission Center. It's being moved over to the right shoulder. And an accident blocking the slow lane westbound King Freeway, just past the 125. Heads up, San Diego. The next long weekend is coming up. Get road ready now. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Get you in and out fast. No appointment needed. Real pros. Check lights, fluids, and tires with any oil change. Locations and coupons at SoCalOilChange.com. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your 15-minute drive through oil change. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
You know when it'll be? When they do the smart thing and name Mark Ziegler the commissioner of the NCAA. That's what we need.
I don't know if Mark wants
Ziegler
those problems.
I know part of that. That's an insult.
I didn't think you would. Hi, Mark. Mark Ziegler from the UT is with us. We were just talking. We'll get to the game in a minute, but we were talking about the article you wrote earlier in the week with Dutch, talking about how, we're doing everything we can do. Utah State's doing everything they can do. But there's just more and more money pouring into this. On that side, never mind the eligibility rules at the moment, Mark, but on the NIL side, is there any end in sight to how much money, these programs are going to need to stay competitive?
That's the problem. The answer is no. And there's no sort of regulation. There's nobody overseeing this. Congress has tried, and they tried to pass a SCORE Act that might have done a little bit of that and created some regulation and some limits and some oversight. And the whole thing fell apart, and it's sort of dead in the water right now. It almost came up for a House vote, and then they tabled it. And so who knows where that's going. And so, football season, the teams already have their, the portal's been open and closed, and they've signed their guys and got their guys. And, basketball, it'll be the same thing in about 3 months, 2 months when their portal opens after the season. And, it'll be done. And so for next season, I don't think anything's going to change. Now, in the future, maybe something could, but, Congress has bigger fish to fry than college sports. And it's just going to have to reach a point of, as Dutcher says, of just being so ridiculous that they have to step in for somebody to do something.
Mark, Aztecs get a victory against Wyoming last night. It got off to a good start. Second half, not as crisp, but nonetheless a victory. They're back in first place. It finally looks like we're starting to see Reese Dixon Waters start to move the way we've seen him move before the injury.
Yeah, and you saw the same thing I did. And in fact, that's my lead item in my three thoughts tomorrow is just, this guy's turned into a player of the year candidate. He is, and I don't want to say he's quietly done it because it hasn't been quiet, but I think a lot of people haven't really noticed. He's scored double figures at 12 straight games now. Yeah. I think every single Mountain West game he's been in double figures, and or maybe all but one. And he's just got it rolling. He's got his head right. And the thing with him is, every coach who watches him play says, gosh, that guy takes some really hard shots and he makes them. And so as a opposing coach, you're like, yeah, let's make him take hard shots, hard twos, a fall away in the lane with a guy draped on him. And that's his shot. Yeah. That's like he wants. And the other side, Brian Dutcher's like, how can we get this guy to actually take an open shot? And they're starting to get, and he admitted it, he's starting to figure that out. He likes to shoot off the dribble, and they're trying to get him to be a catch-shoot guy, and he's starting to figure that out. And so you're seeing him, instead of getting 10 or 12 points off of really difficult shots, he's getting 20 or 25. And that's sort of the watch-out moment for the rest of the league. If this guy starts to make take open shots and go all the way to the basket and draw fouls, which he did last night, and shot 12 free throws, and he's one of the best free throw shooters in the league, this is not going to slow down anytime soon.
Mark Ziegler's with us. Aztecs with the win over Wyoming last night. I'm going to leave the fact that everybody in the building, but probably you, Mark, called a foul last night. The whistles were going out of control. But I want to talk about how far this team can go if Gwath comes back, if Harrington comes back, everybody's healthy. And I'm asking in a sense of, before the season, the hype was probably overhype. And then the non-conference, the hype kind of went pretty far down to where we were like, God, let's just hope we are okay. Where's the hype right now? Do we kind of think maybe if things come together, we could do a little something in March?
It's a really good question. And Brian Dutcher kind of addressed it a little bit. He's like, I'm kind of excited for February. His teams, and I haven't written this, I'll write it again here, but he has an incredible record in February, and it's not a coincidence. His teams are, he's an older coach. He's a patient coach. He doesn't stress stuff early in the season. His whole goal is to be playing your best basketball in February and March. And so his teams almost always are, not every year, but they usually are. And it seems like this team is kind of trending in that direction again in March. And so I think there's a little bit more optimism. He said last night, I like where this team's at. And he goes, obviously we're not perfect, but I really like the way we're playing. And, my whole goal is to be in first place at the bye week. And all I got to do is beat the worst team in the conference. Now they got to do it at 7,000 feet in a place where they have struggled, including last year. But if they beat Air Force, they're in first place going into the bye week. He goes, then we reevaluate our two guys, LZ and Magoon and see where they're at injury wise, and just try to get them healthy for the, where the schedule sets up. Those last 4 games are big. Utah State at home, at the Pit against New Mexico, at Boise, and then home against UNLV on senior night. He wants them ready for those 4 games and then rolling right into the conference tournament and into whatever comes after that. So I think they're well positioned for that. I think they're starting to trend upward. Everyone's starting to play a little bit better. So I think, the optimism meter can spike up a little bit, but don't get ahead of yourselves. Think, well, this is a Sweet 16 team, because right now it's not.
Mark Ziegler joins us here, Union Tribune. And Mark, I always take heed when you hear Dutch talk like that, because it's not often you hear him say he is pleased with how things are going. So I took note that he said that. And the one thing that it has seemingly kind of moved in the right direction, albeit it felt slow in the beginning of the year, is his defense. It's really picked up. Last night they kept Wyoming to a 32% from the field. What do you think you've seen that has allowed this defense to kind of start getting back to the roots of where this program is built on?
Yeah, I asked him that exact question last night, because I noticed it in the last few weeks. Even at Utah State, they lost the game, but that was an incredible defensive performance. Again, with a really short bench. They went from 11-man rotation basically down to 6 between foul trouble and injuries, and that's what kept them in the game. I mean, they shut the leading scorer in the league. Didn't have a basket for the first 34 minutes of that game. He was 0 for 10 or 0 for 11. MJ Collins, and then Mason Falslev, who a lot of people think is the player of the year, had like 7 or 8 points and wasn't effective either. And it's started to grow. Dutch says the turning point was the Arizona game when they really beat him up in the first half. We're only down 2, led late in the first half, and then fell apart in the second. But it showed the team that, look, if we play defense, we can play with anybody in the country. And then you saw it at the Nevada game on the road. They won that game there. But I think even since then, it's gone up another level. And what you're not seeing like Colorado State last week could barely get the ball across half court.
Yeah.
And Wyoming last night really struggled. I mean, they play hard, but they're just getting bumped. And it's not like just guys are in the right positions now. They're being physical. And that was really an element of the defense that stood out to me in the past. I mean, you look at the 23 team that went to the championship game. They were so physical. They bump you everywhere. And it just got to the point where refs aren't going to call that. They're going to let you play. Yeah. And that's suited for the postseason. Then they start letting you play a little bit and the whistle stop blowing. You're starting to see it now. And I think that will carry him through the month. I think that's probably the root of Dutcher's optimism.
Mark is with us, Mark Ziegler. I want to throw kind of a hypothetical at you, Mark, and I think I know how you're going to answer. Otherwise, I wouldn't put you behind the 8 ball here. But the whole thing with Alabama and the kid who, was a pro and then wanted to come back, and now UCLA, there's an NBA guy and he wants to come back. Let's just throw because I know what Dutcher would say, but I just want to confirm how silly this whole thing is. Let's say Lamont Butler came back tomorrow and said, you know what, I'd like to go back to the Aztecs. It hasn't quite worked out. I played my this and that, but I can squeeze another year of eligibility. Let's say he found some San Diego State grad judge in town who granted him an order that said he could do it. The bottom line is Brian Dutcher would just say no, wouldn't he? You know what I mean? Like, this is what bothers me a little bit. I get what the kids are all doing, but the coaches don't have to be okay with it.
Right, and then I think that's a good point, because I mean, no one is surprised that Nate Oates went out and did it. If anyone would have said what coach is the one who's going to go get the NBA guy and get him back and get a friendly judge to get him a restraining order, everyone would have said, oh, Nate Oates. And doesn't mean he's a bad guy. That's just who he is, right? And Brian Dutcher put it this way: they're not sitting in the office going, hey, Jamal Franklin has 2 years of eligibility left. I was at a flight to Phoenix with Jamal Franklin and Malcolm Thomas, right? And it was the day that Bediako thing, he got his restraining order. And I was telling them about it, and they said, God, this is crazy. And Jamal goes, hey, I got 2 years eligibility left. I left after 2. And Malcolm goes, I played a year at San Diego City at JC ball. I get that year back. I got 1. How about we be the starting 3 and 4 man next year?
Right.
No,
but Dutch isn't
Mark,
actively going out there and trying to do it.
Yeah. I got to run to the bus. You know how those work, Mark. Tony's got you the rest of the way. Thanks for everything from my end, pal.
Got it.
Mark, how you mentioned LZ Harrington and Mukungwa. What is the status of the two young men? They missed another game there last night.
Yeah, they Dutch is, I think they were going sort of game by game, week by week, and then they looked ahead at the schedule and they got through some of these tough games and they said, look, we're in first place. We got a relatively easy schedule this week with Wyoming and at Air Force, and then we got the bye week. Why are we going to rush them back for these games? We can win these games without them. Let's shut them down for another 2 weeks, and then let's try to really get them back. And so that's been the philosophy. And so my guess is they will not play at Air Force. They'll probably be on the trip just to be with the team, but they will not suit up. And then they'll take a couple days off, and then we'll get in the middle to end of next week, and then they'll practice them and then see how they react. They both are out there. They're both kind of shooting around. LZ's in a boot right now, but McGuire shoots around before the game. And I think then they'll see how their bodies react and see if they can go forward. And, he said last night, I hope to get one or both of them back. So I think there's still some uncertainty there, but that's the plan. And then obviously when they get them back, they're not going to be able to come out and play 30 minutes a game. But the idea is to get them back into some kind of shape by those last 4 games that start in the end of February.
As always, we appreciate Mark Ziegler for coming on. That's going to do it for Gwynn and Chris tonight. Scraby and the Chronicles up next.
Let's go.
Enjoy. Have a good night.